Blam, tweeted. Tweeter. Make sure that's on top. There we go. There we go. Okay. So last week you guys got teleported to Phil's house. Uncle Phil.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, not. It's funny. And he kind of brought you to town and helped you kind of get clothes and stuff. And now, yeah, it was a host. Lost my train of thought. He helped you get clothes and kind of set up a bit. Chowda is now an elf.
Mm-hmm.
Altus is now a dwarf. Geeky Tea Party now hosted me.
Ooh.
And then you guys kind of spent the day. Fish sung a bit with an ominous bard, but made a few silver. And then it was kind of the middle of the afternoon. You guys kind of figuring out where to go. We're kind of pointed in the direction of a temple of Ilmater, about a mile outside of town.
Yep.
And that's where we were. So what would you guys like to do? Were you just going to head to the gate and leave? Or was there anything else you wanted to try and poke around?
Unless anybody has other reason to be in town, yeah, I absolutely would like to get headed towards this temple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go, laddie.
Okay. You guys go to the eastern section of town. And from here, there's a very large kind of main road that heads out of town. Almost at the gates, you can start to see the temple that they're talking about. Like, that's how large it is. You can see it from here. I'm going to the miles not that far, but...
It's the biggest temple I've ever seen in my life.
So you're going with an accent then?
He just came. He just came in. Like a beard just grew.
Yeah, that's how that works.
So you guys walking?
Yeah, probably. It's only a mile. You can walk that pretty quick. I can walk it pretty quick.
I'm going to state at this point, I am not in front and I am not in back.
Obviously, I'm in front.
Me stubby little legs are having a hard time keeping up.
You know what? My 3-foot-tall self was fine with keeping up. I don't know what you're complaining about. Can't use your small stature as an excuse against me. I had 8 stubby legs, so I guess I might.
So you guys walk for a bit. You can see water to the south. Almost starts to turn into like fields and wet bogs and stuff like that. To the north is a bunch of fields, and a bit past that, you can start to make out forests. You walk probably only like 20 minutes, half an hour. And you come across what is called the Temple of the Wary. Facing south, set back just a bit from this wide and well-used trade road, sits a massive white temple. Coming from the east and the west sides, there's like a row of singular pillars that are placed side by side and slowly grow as they get closer to the main building. And they connect. And at its peak, it's a 245-foot tall tower that forms an entryway and bell tower. Extending behind it is a large cathedral, over 100 feet tall itself and almost 600 feet long. A dense field of red poppies surround it completely, save for a wide stone path leading to this entrance from the path. A separate little pathway leads behind the temple to a small stable and 3 other buildings of staggered size. Further back, there are rows and rows of crops.
Sounds like the stables seem to be the first interesting choice, since it's always nice to have a backup plan if these guys don't let us in the tower.
I
Shelter with the horses.
How you thinking?
So where are you headed? You gonna go on the little path or the bigger path, the main?
My worry is if we go to the temple and somebody in our group says something excessively stupid or becomes contrary, I am afraid that they are going to kick us out. So one, we have a backup plan of the stables, but two, maybe it might be a good idea to kind of pre-coach and say, why don't we let me
Why don't we
And-
just don't let Altus talk? Is what he's
Okay.
really
there.
saying.
I take offense to that.
I'm also going to pat Chowda on the shoulder. Yes, you have a penis. We all know you have a penis. Totally normal to have a penis. You don't need to tell the Temple of Elmiter that you have a penis.
Okay.
So you're gonna walk up to the main building.
Sure. I guess I will take the lead now.
Okay. As you head up there, an older half-elf gentleman wearing a full gray robe, a red cloth skullcap, and a pin on his chest. The pin is of a pair of white hands wrapped in red cloth. Kind of approaches you with a kind smile. Greetings, children. How may I aid you?
Greetings. We are visitors from a very distant land. We're a little lost. We were directed to you, and we were hoping that maybe we could barter for some shelter until we can find our bearings and move on.
Be more than happy to help.
That's excellent news. And I'm going to kind of, look back behind me and kind of nod and be like, thumbs up. But then I'm going to ask, is there anything that we can do to, help you out? You are extending a roof over our heads and, perhaps maybe a meal, maybe.
Oh, I mean, perhaps we can, if you're willing to help. We have jobs, but not required. We can set you up at least for an evening or two to get you self sorted out.
Well, I mean, I'd feel remiss if we didn't give back a little. Let us get settled in a little bit, and maybe you can come up with something that, some fairly sturdy adventures and a whatever this short thing is.
I'm a
can,
dwarf.
Assist with.
I can appreciate the sentiment. There's a lot more to give than to take. Well, why don't I set you up? Do you have any bags or?
To say that we came with the clothes on our backs would be an overstatement of how we got here. A kind gentleman in the nearby town by the name of Phil, he gave us these robes and the clothing that we're in. Outside of that, we barely have 2 coin to scrape together. However, we are fairly able-bodied, so what we can't make up for in coin, we can make up for in sweat equity.
He nods in recognition when you mention Phil. Phil's a good soul.
Who doesn't Phil know?
Everyone's filled in. No,
What?
Daria's frozen. Well,
Just been filled in.
I mean, we don't have anything grand, but we're more than happy to extend a few beds. And he'll say, follow me, and he'll lead you over to. Oh, there you go. Kind of along the back across the edge towards the other buildings behind. kind
Okay.
of past the stable. It's a small stable. There's only like 3 or 4 horses, and they don't look like riding horses. They look more like workhorses for the fields.
Okay. We're nearby the fields. What do they grow here?
Just different vegetables.
Oh, okay. So nothing.
You can see a
Strange.
variety of them, and it's not like rows and rows of like industrial kind of things. They do have large farms, but it's like 100 feet of this with like 10 rows of vegetable, then something else and something else. Like they have a
Right.
variety.
They're not feeding an army with this. They're
No, I mean they are
This is
feeding a
very-
church and then enough
Right.
to give to other people and stuff in need, but they're not like, it's not incredibly industrialized or anything like that.
okay. I just kind of want to keep an eye out. Just scope, not for not the thief level of scoping a place, but just kind of getting an idea of anything that stands out, anything that might interest us in our downtime, that sort of thing. Looking for perception.
Yeah, go for it. There does not seem to be very much. You see a couple of farming implements like tools, and also like a couple of like what are they called, the drag plows, I think. Like one of those
okay.
behind, but and especially as you start to get closer to the other buildings, there are 3 of staggered size. So the first one is a bigger building, probably like 40 by 30, and then they get progressively smaller. So the second one is a little bit smaller, and then the third one is only like a 10 by 10. Very simple and kind of I mean, especially standing next to the really ornate temple, this grand temple. These buildings are pretty simple. So if there's anything of significance or value, it's probably more in the temple, but at least as far as behind here, and I don't know how much you know about the religion of Ilmater. I'm not sure if we figured that out or not.
As a player, I know a lot. As a character, I don't think I know very much.
Did we have you roll religion last week?
Yeah, I think I knew some, but yeah, no, I don't think I'm a master of it. I got a.
Oh yeah, the 2 of you,
I got
Ortus and
15.
Fish. Yeah, I think you guys have a basic idea, but
I got 15.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he'll lead you to the large room, the 40 by 30, and in there it's just kind of almost kind of like a barracks where it's just a bunch of beds. There's a couple of small sections, but it's also very simple and kind of there's not a lot of material possessions. They have clothes and beds and a couple of like things off in a corner, like a couple of like cleaning implements, but also like like stuff to do, like a bat and ball kind of thing. But very little. I mean, especially with knowing with the 2 of you who rolled decent religions last week, they tend to stay busy, helping other people or doing manual labor kind of thing. It's that kind of mentality in religion. But they'll bring you in, and there's a few more people in here. You can see a lot more people out in the fields, kind of tending that, and there's like 2 people at the stable, and a couple people like walking around here and there. And they're all dressed fairly similar. The only thing of note is most of the people in this building, very similar, like robing, same kind of pin. That pin has significance because it seems like everybody has it. Nobody else in the building has skull cap. They're just like shaved bald.
It's like a secret club.
So we can safely assume that this gentleman with the red skull cap is probably the leader of this
Yeah.
particular church.
Or at least more important than the people here. Shit. I gave him a name. He would have introduced himself. I'm terrible about names, but he would have introduced himself as Brother Vadin. So, but he'll set you up. He'll find you a couple of beds to kind of bunk in. Was there anything else you needed immediately, or?
Does he have a basic area where we can maybe, either wood crafting or smithing some? We're not high level crafters, but I know that at least one of us knows how to make some basic stuff. Maybe we can kit ourselves out with some very basic munitions. I know that Daria can at least make a bow. I assume you probably also know how to make arrows.
They have
Yes.
they have supplies for some of the smaller stuff. Like they'll have stuff for like wood carving, but the heavy stuff like blacksmithing, stone masonry, and stuff like that require a more dedicated area. They don't have much of that.
Do we need anything heavy duty like that, or can we just get along without it? I'm kind of looking to Daria for this because, as far as I know, I think she's the only one that can craft.
No, we just need wood and string, wood and some twine, heavy twine.
Okay.
Well, you were aware that part of your kind of arrangement with Phil was he was going to pick you up in the morning and take you to I don't really mention, but Glasingdale, where you guys were kind of
You're gonna get kitted out.
a job. He was going to help you with a job, so
Weapon.
kind of pay you guys ahead of time with gear and equipment that you need.
I'm kind of wishing I took smithing, but then again, it wouldn't have been very useful underwater.
So
The reason why I say some crude rudimentary stuff is just because a lot can happen overnight.
no, I know. I mean, worst comes to worst, you can get like a club or quarterstaff quality gear.
Yeah, I'm just thinking I might make some kind of cruddy homegrown arrows. I have my own weaponry, but I do need munitions for it.
Okay.
I just make jewelry. Sorry.
What was Altus doing?
I'm going to just go to sleep.
Okay. He's not used to walking so far with tiny little legs.
Is it late night at this point, or are we
No,
still?
it's still mid-afternoon.
Figures.
What was Daria doing? Were you going to go with Fish to go try and get supplies for like arrows and stuff?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yep. I'm gonna say we could probably ask the church. They probably have twine. If they're harvesting, they might need twine to bale hay and that sort of thing. So I'm assuming they have twine. We just would need to probably go and cut our own wood for the bows and such.
Okay.
So where were you going to go? Were you going to ask one of the priests first, or were you going to go searching first?
If the priest that we spoke to is readily available, I'd ask him.
Okay. No, I mean you were kind of going over this in your head, I assumed, while he was kind of standing there.
Correct.
So you're gonna ask him for twine.
Yeah, I'm going to see if he has twine or any sort of binding agent that we can use to, create simple bows or that sort of thing. Something that would hold up, even if it's not going to hold up forever.
Yeah. No, I mean, I can find something. It's not gonna be quality that you would use in a bow, but so I'm not sure how it'll hold up, but I can find something. Definitely.
All right. Second question, and I hate to sound religiously ignorant, but I kind of am. Are the trees around here protected or under some sort of ward, or would it be okay if we cut loose branches and such to for our own supply?
No, that's fine. You're gonna have to go a bit out. before you find a lot, though, because we have a lot of the surrounding area kind of cleared out for a lot of fields. It's a lot of fields here. The forests are further back, but any of the like loose trees here and there, we cut down a long time ago to start plowing the fields.
That's fine. I believe we're gonna strike out and see what we can find out there to, maybe get ourselves supplied. But we should be back. And Daria, did you want to come with, or did you want to stay here?
Yeah, I'll go with you and help you find some good wood and some nice pieces that we can use.
All right, awesome. So I guess that's what we're gonna do. I don't know what the other two are doing.
Well, he'll bow to you then. And, like, I will go try and find you some string or something for bows. Do the best I can. If you need anything further, you can ask any of us, or I'll be in the temple.
Okay, great.
Long and strong is Darren's devotion, is kind of his blessing and saying as he leaves. And he'll head out and head back over towards the temple. And Altus is probably snoring.
Mm.
So what was Chowder doing?
I wouldn't suspect that Altus would be snoring midday.
I'm
I think he'd
joking.
be praying.
I was joking as you say what I want to say. What is Chowder doing?
I'm gonna look for, because I know a little bit about flint mapping because I did it with the obsidian. So I'm actually gonna go look for rocks that I can flint map into arrowheads.
Are you gonna go with them while they search for stuff, or separately?
Yeah, I'll probably go with them.
Okay.
Because only one of them is armed, and they might get attacked. And I'm
That
always
was
armed.
actually my thought. I just wanted to make sure that there was somebody capable of fighting without weapons in each group.
Well, he's got magic,
Fair.
so
Okay. You guys will go out and you can either all roll survival or have somebody roll it with an advantage.
I don't think.
I imagine one person has a better score than most.
I have a 1, so that's not going to be me.
I had the best survival.
Free, but
My gosh.
Okay. It's gonna take a bit. I mean, mostly because it's, like I said, it's fields, so this is a lot of plowed out. So like the trees are further out. You're gonna have to go past the fields a bit, and it's very loose earth. So like over years, even the rocks and stuff have been kind of thinned out and put back. You'll go out. It'll probably take you about an hour and a half to kind of start gathering up the stuff. A couple of rocks. You'll actually find a pile of rocks kind of that they've pushed back and starting to kind of make a little bit of a wall. I don't know if you want to pull from there or try and find your own, but
I'll try to find.
it doesn't like protect from anything. It just seems like while they're moving and thinning out the rocks, they just kind of started to pile them kind of in the fashion of a fence of a barrier, but it's very small and kind of short. It's only like 15 feet tall and maybe like 2.5 feet tall. So like it's nothing that they're actively building, but it is something that they've just kind of been piling here with kind of the thought of a wall sort of thing. But no, you can find a couple of rocks that you don't know how well they'll work flint napping, because it does take not a specific type of rock, but not every rock can be flint napped. But you guys will easily find enough kind of twigs, and even you'll find a long branch that will require a little bit of carving that you can pull into a bow. And then I assume just head back.
Yeah, unless there's anything else that anybody might need. I mean,
we need shafts for the arrows and feathers for the fletching is the word.
Yeah, that might help.
I don't know how I know about that. That's weird.
Do we have anything? Do we have anything that could hold water? Does anybody have a water skin? Anything like that?
No, I don't think we got a water.
I have the robes.
I have
I
pouch.
can,
Well, actually, you
We
guys would have given the robes back.
I don't, we don't need water. I can create water.
Oh, excellent! Because it's a critical reagent for one of my spells.
Yeah, I can create water.
Okay, that works for me.
So you guys go back, probably start working on. You'll go back and find a bit of twine. It does look like, like baling twine. Like it's not the strongest stuff for like pulling on repeatedly. It's not going to last a long time as a bow, but it'll function for a little bit. And you'll actually find a couple of like knives and implements for woodworking that were left by it as well.
Nice.
All right. Well, you know how to make the bow. I probably could figure out how to tie string, but you probably can do it with more finesse. Chowder, did you say you make gems?
The earth makes gems. I make jewelry.
Oh, okay. Any chance you can kind of turn that into fine, wonderful arrowheads or?
That was my plan.
Yeah, you're a smart guy.
I did learn a bit of flint mapping from. My character would remember the name of the I think it was the woman from the Cecilia family that taught me.
I'm gonna pet him on the head.
I have it in my notes somewhere. I don't remember.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pet him on the head.
I will still punch you.
Wow, rude.
But don't pet me. I'm not a pet.
Aqua? Aqua or Seppi,
Yeah, I don't remember.
I think. Okay, so you have
Akko. It was Akko, I think, because that's the name I wrote down.
you have jewel crafting, so you can roll that.
It's Dread Pirate Seabeard. I forgot about that.
Huh? What?
Dread Pirate Seabeard.
What happened? I missed something. I think.
All right.
Whoop.
That's a good roll.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
I mean, it's going to take over the course of the night.
Yeah.
Daria, you have woodworking? Or what did you have for professions? You're muted.
Professions?
Yeah.
I don't think I had a profession. I'm
I
a
think-
ranger.
I think she just wrote. If you had a profession, it would be right under your passive perception area. That's where the professions go. Like jewelry.
Oh yeah, no, I didn't have one.
I think
Okay.
she just rolled really well when she was.
No, it's
making
fine.
it.
If she's gonna
you
roll,
have-
I'd like to
did you have-
grant her.
Did you have a profession or no? Fish?
I do not. I have
No,
several
no.
performance.
Okay.
But I do. If she's going to make a roll, I will grant her bardic inspiration to do so.
Well, you can also like aid her because you wanted the arrows. So
Can do
Right.
both.
why don't you do two dex rolls?
Me?
Yeah. Well, not saving throws, but it's only a little bit lower.
And if she
Well,
needs it, she can use inspiration if she'd like. It's a d6.
I have 19, 20, and 21. Do I need it?
I don't know. How good do you want this to be?
You really, I mean, you don't. You succeeded. It just
Yeah. If
whether you
succeed,
want to,
you
I
succeed.
guess, push it in.
You've got so you
Yeah.
can sit on bardic inspiration for a little bit.
Well, you only have
Okay.
like 10 minutes. You might as well, I guess, use it. But
Okay.
so roll it. Okay. It's gonna take you about an hour, most of it whittling the bow, kind of tear it down, scrape off all of the bark and stuff, and then you're probably half peeling it off anyways. Although you'll use the twine, but you'll keep the bark, and that's what ends up making some of the string. Usually, you kind of pull apart the bark, and the fibers in the bark often go towards the string. But you'll do a really good job. You'll actually, it's not going to be up to the complete quality, but you're going to kind of try and implement some of the styles that you were learning from those elves up here.
Right.
So you get that done, and then afterwards you probably have, since he's helping, have kind of overlooking while you're whittling the thing, have Fish work on setting up the actual arrows, kind of trim this and make sure they're long in this shape and stuff, kind of telling him what to do there. And so he'll do most of the work that while you're working on your bow, and then you guys will start, you, I guess, but he is helping. Start putting them together, and between, I don't know, about a half an hour after, because he does a lot of that work while you're working on your bow. So I think all told about 2 hours to make the bow, and then have him work on the arrows, and then you kind of finish them off, put them together using the arrowheads that Chowda made, and you guys will get a total of 20 arrows made up.
Okay.
All right. Do you want to split them?
Yeah.
All right. I'd offer you some chowda, but I don't feel like you need them.
Thank you anyway. I'm happy to be of assistance though.
Yeah.
I'm glad that I get to use the skill that Oka taught me.
Good work, team. How much time? What time are we looking at now? How much time has passed? Is it like nighttime? Time for?
And not night time, but it's starting to get closer to dark. Shortly before you guys finish, just kind of towards the end of you guys working on it, one of the priests is going to come in and tell you that their final prayer for the day is at sundown. You guys are more than welcome to come and pray with them. They understand that you guys don't have the same religion, so you don't have to. But after they pray, then they'll get together behind the temple, and they'll be having a large dinner.
I would love to come pray with you.
Yeah, I'll go pray. I don't think I've defined a god yet.
Yeah. Altus will go pray as well.
Okay.
Can't have the dawn without.
I don't think Daria was very religious, but I guess it's up to you whether you're gonna. No.
I'll go stand there.
Well, they're actually gonna go inside the temple and.
Oh.
Pray.
Okay. I'll just hang out outside.
Okay.
Maybe see if I can figure out what some of the plants are. And things.
Okay. The plants they're growing.
Yeah, if there just any kind of plants or wildlife or whatever is around me.
Okay. So you guys will go in, and there is a little door on the side, kind of near the back, that you guys will go in, and it, for all intents and purposes, it's set up more like a Christian temple, like a church with like the rose, and there's a large symbol, kind of Ilmater, with his hands bound, kind of at the head. And at this point, it's mostly filled, and they're all kind of sitting in the pews and praying. And they'll do that for about an hour before they start to kind of all wander out. There's no like large organized prayer at night. It's just you kind of come in and pray, and then they'll all start kind of slowly over time filtering out. How you can stay a little bit of time or the entire time, it's up to you. But after they're done praying, they start to kind of gather out back, and start kind of gathering up food and lighting a couple of different fires. There's probably about 25 priests all told in this large thing. So I mean, the temple is way more than just they pray to, but they're ambitious, optimistic.
Okay.
But,
So are they are do they leave? Do they live here? Do they leave? What's the because you said their final prayer was at sundown.
Of the
Do
day.
they all live here?
Okay,
so
those
they
three
all-
the three buildings, if you would have poked around, are all housing.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
All right, that makes sense.
they're kind of divvied up by the ranks. You're gonna see they all have the gray robes. There's the real difference is the kind of headwear. What you think is the youngest or the newest are either bald or some of them still have hair. They haven't even cut their hair or tightly braided hair, kind of monk type hair. And then the next tier up is they have a skull cap, but it's the gray that matches the robe. And then there's one person who has the red skull cap. And then if you would have poked around the houses, it's this weird thing where the building you guys are in is actually one of the nicest. As you get higher in the hierarchy or whatever, the quality of house actually goes down. It gets like more and more simple and less things for you to have
That makes sense.
until like the 10 by 10 room is literally just a mat on the floor.
I'm assuming that they are pouring all of their excess resources into the slightly more opulent tower rather than taking care of their own housing.
Well, I mean, you can assume that, but a lot of it's just based on their religion
Right.
of giving. I think the more you give, the more you are to your God. So it's kind of I don't know how it actually goes, but I kind of like the idea of it reflecting that as you go up, you actually have less and less material things. I think the temple is more a statement than anything functional, and you probably get the idea that there are periods of time where people come here more often. Like, some deities have weekly worship, some have holidays, stuff like that. It might get more use, but a lot of it's just kind of a statement. But anyways, they'll kind of gather and start kind of cooking up. There's a little bit of meat, but it's mostly the vegetables that they grew. Any bit of meat and stuff that they have, it's not like rare, but it is a little scarce. They'll mention that they actually like traded for it or whatever. Like they trade with local farmers, that they trade like some of their squash or whatever for bits of pig or a chicken here and there or whatever.
All right.
What's a bacon? What's a bacon or a chick?
Pigs are these little pink animals with snouts. I have the nose upstairs, actually.
Yeah, but we don't even really know what we don't know what this food is.
No, I know.
It's delicious, trust me.
Okay.
So I'm gonna look
It
at
is. It's I don't know. It's earthy. It's mostly vegetables. You can opt not to have any of the meat if you want. I think it was Landry that was going with the vegetarian thing, though. But I mean, it's like I said, it's lots of different animals: cow, goat, but it's just very little bits of it here and there. That's kind of mixed in. It's mostly kind of like I don't want to say a stew, but almost like a stir fry kind of thing. Like they just kind of mix stuff in.
Okay.
Maybe they'll toast up a couple of different vegetables or whatever, but it's good. I mean, it's nothing fancy. It's very filling. It's more functional food, but it does taste okay. Like, it's well seasoned. You could eat it every day and be happy, kind of thing. But it's not should come as a surprise that it's not over the top. It's not Paula Deen filled with butter kind of.
We used to eat
meals.
raw fish, so I really don't
Mm,
feel like we're gonna complain.
No, I know.
yeah.
There's cooked food that is so foreign to me.
My my CL that I'm playing in a game, because I go off on tangents all the time. He's taken to smoking because he's a CL, so you can't smoke underwater. He does drink, but I think the thing that I've specifically chased is having a pipe and tobacco because you can't smoke underwater. So he's taken to smoking tobacco. Anyways, but they'll socialize and kind of ask you where you're from and that kind of stuff.
Can I roll this into a performance?
Yeah, go for it. I mean,
Awesome.
obviously they don't have money to,
Right.
but
That's-
yeah, you're they'll more than happy to let you and encourage you to do it.
I will tell them great tales of my heroism. Kind of maybe mention the others once in a while.
Mm,
Oh. Chowda pulls me off stage halfway through.
You can see like two people kind of listening politely, but it's not drawing a lot of attention. You think the exaggerated tales aren't really their cup of tea. It's a very humble
I'm gonna
community, so you think it's just kind of a little off-putting. So
I'm
there's a
gonna
couple that you
regale
see
them
that
of
are-
tales from my life on the sea.
I've been outperformed. I'm a bard. I gotta go home now.
We only took one level in it.
Okay, I mean, like I said, you'll get a little bit more interest in the Nat 1, but it's your tales of adventure and stuff. Some of them pique their interest. You start to kind of get into plundering and robbing and stuff, and it starts to lose their attention a lot. These are very lawful, good people, very humble kind of community and church.
So I'm not gonna regale them. I'm more just going to tell them about the temple where I was raised and kind of the upbringing that I had, because that seems more like something they would be interested in, and kind of the crafting and martial training and stuff.
The martial training will hit kind of I don't say nerve, but it'll pique their interest. That's stuff that some of them are familiar with. They have a little bit of basic training in kind of the martial. None of them actually effectively have a monk levels, but they do. A lot of them go through it, and some of the bigger temples down south, especially near Kalimshan and areas like that, most of their major temples are really far down south. They do have some quite established monks. I mean, there'll be a couple of people. Yeah, my brother went down there and is practicing to be a monk, kind of thing.
Unfortunately, my order does not even exist anymore. I was destroyed by a kraken. So
That's unfortunate.
I may be the last one of the Order of the Kraken.
For what it's worth, I mean, I don't portray emotion, but they seem genuinely empathetic.
Thanks. I can.
Is Daria just eating?
I'll be right back.
You're muted.
Oh, the
Daria
more you
has no
talk about
tails to
food-
tell.
Okay.
She's just like, whatever.
That's fine. It's whether you were going to kind of get in on it or just kind of eat and enjoy the conversation, I guess.
Well, she notices that they don't really care about the adventure stories, and she really
Yeah.
doesn't have much else to tell other than
It's not. Mostly, it's the performance style. Altus was a pirate, so the kind of robbing and criminal lifestyle doesn't appeal to them. And you'd think a lot of the performance of Fish was his Nat 1, but it's his kind of over the top, embellished thing. I don't know, it's a little much for them. Not that they don't understand it or anything. It's just, they devote their life to being simple folk and going out of their way to help people and not caring a lot about their own wealth and stuff like that. So his over the top kind of dramatic flair.
Exactly. Your tales will be very interesting to them.
It doesn't. It just doesn't sell to them as well. Like
Well, I could tell them-
when Chowda, even though he didn't roll, him talking about it, like they talk about being the idea of monks and like I mean they might even goof around with them, not goof around, but kind of go through some of the stuff that he would have gone through, like in his very early kind of teachings. That they're kind of a lot of them are taught, self-defense. They don't go out of their way to be injured and killed. They still want to. You still need to be able to take care of yourself to be able to help others.
Right.
And they're genuinely empathetic when he's talking about his destroyed temple. Like, I think a lot of it's the over the top embellished stories of Fish and the criminal activity of Altus.
Well, I can tell them about like plant life where I'm from and that kind of thing.
It's gonna be alien to them, but they can. I mean, you'll probably find like small things that are compatible. Like you'll talk about like this and be like, oh, that sounds a lot like carrots, like kind of thing. Like, and
Right.
they'll end up trying to like not feed you a carrot, but like get you a carrot, and you can try and be like, yeah, it's actually close. Like it's kind of a tuberous root, but it has a totally different taste. And
Less salty.
yeah.
Needing more salt.
Yeah.
Yeah, all this food tastes weird. It's not salty at all.
Right.
You
Dude,
guys need to-
everything will be bland for you forever.
Right? You need to
I think
salt it
that's-
more.
Tabasco sauce on everything.
Everything.
That's just one thing that like, because they're gardeners and they're they grow their own food. And so
Yeah.
that's an area I can connect with them on.
Well, I think they're also priests, but you haven't been incredibly religious, so, and I mean, they do, one of the orders that is, I mean, not allowed, I guess technically anybody could be it, but one of the sun, whatever the hell his archetype is actually Ilmater. The Sun Soul is an Ilmater school. One or two of them. Like, it'll probably come up in conversation that your style is not that alien to them. None of them here, like I said, are trained monks. But they'll talk about, like, what is it, the Temple of the Yellow Rose, I think.
That's one of the ones.
Do I need to roll anything?
You don't have to if you don't want to. It's just, they wanted to, mostly Fish wanted to, and Altus wanted to one-up him.
Can I
Oh.
roll something when they mention Temple of the Yellow Rose? Because my teacher did adventure on the surface, so he might have.
You can roll, yeah. It's just gonna be pretty high DC.
Would history?
History, yeah. Sorry.
Okay.
The name's gonna be familiar with you, but that's about it.
Okay.
You've heard the name, and the name's like, I've heard that name before, but when you think about it, that's about all you know.
Yeah, I don't remember anything.
Nope. Damn it.
So unless you guys were gonna do anything, you guys will just kind of have a quiet night and socialize a bit, and then they eat, and they're incredibly friendly. Largely they just kind of socialize. I think at night after their final prayer, they do kind of get together, have a big meal together, and kind of socialize and unwind a little bit, and then they'll slowly kind of start making their way. The one thing you'll notice, they don't have many vices. They don't have like alcohol or anything like that. Not that they're opposed to it, it's just they don't have any.
I'm gonna slowly put my dice back in my pocket.
Which pocket?
Prison pocket?
Awkward.
One at a
Now
time.
back there.
Well, you have nice fine clothes. You can just put it in your like vest pocket. So, were you guys doing anything, or just gonna go head off to bed?
Set a watch rotation. Just because we're at a temple does not mean that we're not in at least some form of danger. We don't even know where we are.
I should have rolled deception for the whole tail thing. That would have been awesome.
So what were you guys setting up?
I mean, I do know about elves because I do know that I only have to sleep 4 hours. So if you'd like, I can. Somebody could take first watch, and then I could take the rest of the watches. So whoever wants to take the first watch, well, I can go into the trance thing. This will be my first time trying it.
I'll do
I'll
it.
take- Okay, she could take first watch. I'll take second, and then I'll swap off with you.
Okay. Okay. Dario kind of stay up, and at this point, everybody's asleep. It is like kind of like a farmer's kind of thing. Is they finish up, the sun goes down, it starts to get dark. They go in and hit the hay. They go to sleep fast. So it's really quiet. So then you go wake up Fish, and he'll take his watch.
Actually,
Chowder will come out of his reverie, and it's kind of weird, like, because reverie to elves is kind of remembering all of elven history, and it's your first time doing it, which is a weird feeling. Not like game mechanics or anything like that, but it is a very surreal feeling to kind of not go to sleep and like have like dreams or just rest, like to just like go and like it's like you're getting flashes of history the entire time. It's very surreal, very heavy evening. But you'll come out of that and I don't know, I guess Fish will be like, okay, Tag, you're it. Or however you want to do it, I suppose. But
And I'll probably actually once, because we're in like a building, I'll probably go outside and just sit outside because it's been my first time really being under the stars. So
okay. It is
I'm gonna stand by the door and wait for him to open it, and then follow him outside, and then stand by the door again.
I'll let you back in. He's pulling a cat thing.
I'm not sure what he's trying to accomplish. No, you'll go out, and by the time you're going out there, it's like 1, so it's really quiet, kind of. I mean, not cold, because underwater it's a lot colder.
Mhm.
You're just used to a lot colder temperatures. But it is a lot cooler during the night than it is day, and it's a very quiet night, very clear night. You can look up and see a lot of different stars.
Probably do some whittling too.
That's fine. About 3 hours after your watch, before kind of the sun even comes up, you're going to see people start stirring, kind of waking up and slowly making their way out into the fields, a lot to the well. Actually, you're going to see most of them go kind of out and in front of the church. And if you're paying attention, they're going to kind of go across to where there's a lot more water and stuff and kind of start kind of washing up and stuff. And then they're all going to go in the temple for a while. And then some of you may or may not be starting to kind of wake up and roll out of your sleep anyways. But if you're not, as soon as the sun starts to crest and the sky starts to turn from like black to like orange as the sun starts to rise, the entire area is going to start chiming in loud bells. That's going to wake everybody up.
Yep, I'm gonna climb the wall.
Probably actually gonna like watch the sunrise.
The what?
Probably gonna like specifically watch the sunrise.
Mhm.
But like, oh my retinas. But
Yeah.
this is also kind of a new experience.
Yeah.
'Cause I mean, I've never. I think all of the time we spent, we went back underwater, and then I don't think I ever spent a full day. So this is a whole new.
Then the sun burned you before.
That's true.
It burns. It's not. You got to think if you were at more distance, the bells would be a lot less annoying. But being this close to them, they're very loud. And they're coming from the front top area of that large steeple tower thing.
I'm finding everything that I can bury my head under.
It only goes on for about a minute, and then slowly you'll see people start kind of filtering out of the church and making their way to their jobs, the fields, the stable, other things.
All right. Did Phil tell us to meet him anywhere specific, or did he say he was coming to us?
He said he was going to meet you here.
Fantastic. All right. So I'm going to take an inordinately large amount of time getting myself pretty for the day. While these guys, I assume, probably do something similar.
Ta-da, I'm ready for the day.
Well, I think Altus is going to make an effort to come out, especially as the sun is rising, and go through his prayers.
And praise the sun.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah, I know that one.
Which probably be kind of good that the chimes went off. So the chimes would go off and be like, oh shit, and kind of go outside and start going through his new rituals that he doesn't actually really even know that well. But the morning prayers and stuff like that. And actually close to about when he's finishing, because they have to pray for about an hour. You'll see Phil actually start walking up.
Mm-hmm.
Good morning.
Praise the sun.
Yeah. Hi.
Hi, Phil.
I see you found it here and found yourself well.
Oh
I guess.
yeah. These guys are great.
They are very nice.
Their bells suck.
Nah. Nah, they're better.
Yeah, they
Wonderful.
didn't like them. They must have struck a chord.
For you married folk out there, I'm going to shoot the same look at Chowda as any of your wives and or husbands would shoot at you if you've been out way too late and didn't tell them.
Or your kids.
Fair, that too.
I get glared at just for the puns, so.
Despite spending an unbelievably long time getting ready, that whole hour that he was preparing his spells, I was, putting on my face. I still look like I just rolled out of bed, and I still kind of look like garbage.
Mm.
But on purpose.
Sure.
For what it's worth, you guys will be given a little bit of food in the morning. It's just very light munching in the morning, but something to get in your stomach. They don't do big breakfast. It's a small breakfast, and then the meals get bigger and bigger through the course of the day.
You're making me hungry.
I'm making myself hungry, to be fair.
I'm always hungry.
That's true. You're eating. That's true. You're eating for two.
So, I talked to
Plot character.
yeah, yeah, but I'm gonna find it because I need to.
Was it Steven? Well,
Lottie McPoint.
No. Man, I picked the wrong module today. I had the wrong thing open. I was like, okay, you guys go in there and you see. Wait, what? I had put 3 kobolds in the map, and I'm like, there's 6 skeletons and 2 whites. What the? And I realized I was on the wrong module. I was in the right room in the wrong module. You're just different.
Surprise!
It was funny.
You think they're kobolds? They're 6 skeletons.
Gotcha, bitch.
Surprise, motherfucker.
I don't think Altus would even know what kobolds are.
Grender. I talked to Grender, and he's more than happy to work something out. It's not going to be over the top or anything extremely expensive, but from what he was saying, they're paying people to deal with a bunch of orcs.
Aye, let me smash him.
And they're willing to take the cost of anything you need out of there. Plus, probably some supplies that just for helping out.
Holy shit.
So, I don't know if you guys needed to do anything further, but
Say goodbye to.
well, I don't want to leave yet. It's still dark in Blasingdale.
Mm.
Okay.
Something you only really kind of know when you figure out teleportation magic is that the sun rising here doesn't mean the sun's risen there.
Excuse me, sir. I happen to know the Earth is flat.
Well, then you can walk there.
Hmm.
I jest.
What's an Earth?
Hey, I've never heard of this Earth.
Neither. This is
Um,
Faerun.
Rotu, I need to slip away from the group for just a moment.
Okay.
Don't worry. Everything's fine.
Oh, if he had a camera,
We could look at his background without him in it.
right?
No, like I'm actually here. My the fish needs to slip
No,
away
I
from
know.
the
I'm
party.
joking. What is he doing?
Well,
Shenanigans?
let's see how well he does it. Badly. Well, I was going to go catch something and bring it back for the priests as a token of thanks, but instead I'm just going to come back and be sad.
Okay.
Do you mean
We'll come
to
back
catch
with some-
something and then put it at your feet?
Some cat and nine
Terrible hunter.
tails.
You need some help with that?
Nope. Although he does now look worse for wear than he did before.
His paws are wet.
He's also got like hitchhikers all over him.
Yeah. No.
God damn it! Ah, it's another one. It's on the claw. God damn it! Good thing we're friends.
You're gonna see more behind him. Patrol of about 6 elves in heavy armor. Even their horses are heavily armored. Are gonna be making their way back towards town.
Hello, elves. I am also an elf.
I mean, this is way in front of the thing. You're just.
Did you
gonna
say elves or
see them.
dwarves?
Elves.
Ah. Bah.
You'll see him. Phil kind of wave at them as they pass, and they'll wave. One of the lead ones will wave, but just a patrol.
like a kid. I'm like, hey. Hey.
He probably still waves like this.
No, well, I would be like, oh, I'm probably like, oh, okay. Oh, that makes, yes. Am I doing it right? Hi.
He's flashing them.
I could shake hands. I do know how to shake hands. I did learn how to do that.
But Phil will kind of disappear for a bit and go inside the temple, and then come back out after about half an hour. If you guys are ready to go.
Sure.
Okay.
Could I whittle the seahorse? Do you want me to roll?
Yeah, you can roll.
Okay.
It's wood carving though.
Okay. So it's just
Dex.
dex?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, you can whittle a seahorse. Nice, fancy seahorse. Spend a few hours on it. It looks really nice. You can see.
So
You can even get down to being decorative and.
Can I see? I will give it to Brother Vaden. Or Vaden.
Okay.
As a gift.
He'll thank you. Like I don't do empathy all that well, but
I know.
he's appreciative and thanks you for it. And it seems genuine. That's the important part.
That is. That's not authentic. I'd probably sign it chowder. It's an authentic chowder.
So he'll kind of, like he did the first time, kind of gather you together. You come together and start kind of etching, drawing like little things in the dirt, and spend a couple minutes doing that, and then have you guys all stand inside, and then begin casting a spell. And it's just like the first time he kind of teleported you. Everything's going to go like a flash of green, and the first thing you're going to see, you're going to appear, and ahead of you is this small town. But the first thing you're going to see is like this horse whinnying really fucking loud as soon as you like teleport in, and then like kind of jump and come off to the side, and you're going to hear some guy yelling at Phil.
That seems really useful, Phil. Anything I can do to learn that?
It's magic. It's powerful magic, but
Have to start by shaving your beard.
Nah.
So I should already know powerful magic. Can't even grow a beard.
Not all rectangles are squares, Chowda.
Rectangle.
Rectangle.
Is that like a chig or a pagan? That's what they are now.
the what?
It's a chig and a pagan. Or piggin. Because I fucked it up unintentionally. That's just what they are now.
But I mean,
mic has
like
been muted a lot, but I've been laughing so much it hurts.
the what?
My mic has been muted for most of this, but I've been laughing enough to make my lungs hurt.
No. So you guys will kind of make your way into town. It's kind of a mining town, so it's almost like what I more want to kind of think of it as kind of like a tombstone thing, where it's just kind of one stretch of road where there's a couple of buildings here and there, a couple of like inns and shops and stuff. They have a couple of specific ones in the book, but he's going to lead you right to kind of a barracks area with kind of a front office. And he's going to kind of go knock in there. And the one thing that's going to be more noticed is, I mean, he'll be polite and kind of wave to people as they go by, but he doesn't get the same reception here. Not rude or anything, it's just like nobody knows who he is. So he's not known globally. It's just kind of the Silver Moon area.
That's
Silver Moon
unfortunate.
area.
Like, I know Phil, motherfucker. All right, calm down. I'm like, fuck Phil.
Can I list Phil as my deity?
Go for it. Actually, kind of thought of a neat idea for you. But I don't know that it fits the idea that you're trying to escape it as much, but
I'm cool with
Ah.
listening to your ideas, so we can always talk about that later.
But anyways, he'll go up to that kind of office and kind of knock on the door, and you'll hear shuffling and kind of a gruff come in, and you guys will go in and see like this huge kind of 6.5 foot tall half orc in breastplate and a large greatsword.
Hello.
He'll walk up and kind of greet him and say, Sergeant Grendel Cullen.
He's not at all the right picture.
Let me introduce you to some of these adventurers that kind of fell in my lap, to be honest.
Aye, he's not at all what I pictured.
He'll greet you. I mean, he's not impolite. He's a bit gruff and kind of professional. He'll shake your hand. He's got a very firm, strong handshake.
I don't anymore. God damn it. It's so weird.
Hello.
Almost
Pleasure
kind
to
of,
meet you.
I used to
almost
be
kind of,
Altus will just
almost kind of accidentally strong. Like that's how strong orcs are. So it's almost like he, like, just shakes your hand like he would kind of a regular one of his, soldiers and stuff would kind of be a little bit stronger on average, and then realizes he's crushing your hand a little bit and stops.
Altus will just say
used to be a
hi,
lot stronger.
and then just
This is weird.
like
I'll walk up and
So
shake his
very
hand and do that.
very
weird-
suspicious of this guy.
Sorry.
what were
We're
you
gonna
saying?
walk up, shake his hand, and do that weird thing where, like, maybe you hold his hand a little longer than you should. Kind of like look at him right in the face.
Okay.
Trying to make friends here.
Okay.
You're doing a great job.
So you guys were looking for work and needed supplies.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've arranged it with I'm trying to fucking remember the names. Keldigan to have you guys supplied up, and we'll pay for that supplies out of the reward. We were offering, we're trying to clear out Kundrakar, and we're offering offering 25 gold a head, or sets of ears, or whatever you want to fucking do to collect. But dead or alive, don't care. So you want to bring in live orcs. It seems like a lot of work, but we just need them out of Kundrakar.
This sounds great. But me and my compatriots here, we really need some equipment. So let's talk about that first, and then we'll talk about going and killing all the orcs.
I was.
Yeah.
I said,
I need a shield and a breastplate, and
shut up,
I'll be good.
you fucking dwarves. Go talk to Keldakar and you guys will get a credit. And he'll tell me how much, and when you come and collect your bounty, I will subtract out of that.
Excellent. Lead the way, big fella.
Okay. He's gonna kind of shoot a look to Phil, and be like, you owe me. Kind of look.
I can only imagine that the defeated look on your face just now is exactly the same one.
Well, Phil's very, he's a soldier too, but he's kind of knows everybody. He's used to kind of being friendly. This is a very gruff and kind of still young and impulsive, but on the job, and it's still a fucking half-orc too. I kind of, I don't know, I keep saying gruff, but I think it's one of the best words. He'll lead you down the road to
Kundrakar.
a store. Yeah, it's called Tolm's Superior Outfitting and Dry Goods.
Ah.
And you'll kind of walk in, and you'll see kind of a dwarf kind of pop out from behind the counter and go over and greet him. You're like, these are the people you were talking about? And he'll kind of nod. All right, what do they need?
I don't need a whole lot, good sir. Something for water, food and water is really the majority of what I need.
Well, we were doing gear. I did, what the fuck is it called? I had kind of set up a He's not going to say the term, so I'm going to look it up real quick. Make sure it's the right one.
The Explorers pack.
No, it's going to be a Dungeoneers pack, but he's going to say, I set aside supplies for you specifically. Just that won't be part of it, or that they're paying for separate, just for you guys going. And then the armor, weapons, and other
Is it
supplies will be part of it. It'll be Dungeoneering kit.
Pack.
So they have, pack.
Backpack, crowbar, hammer, 10 pythons, 10 torches.
Yeah. No,
I mean, they're sending you in a dungeon, so that seems the most appropriate. And it's not really.
There's a
dungeon.
water skin for fish.
So
So we have
let's
five.
do
We have
this.
four of those.
Let's do this in an orderly fashion.
You sure you
so
don't
we're
need
not all
a
shouting
and-
over each other?
kind of joke? You sure you don't need, and like the orc's like, no, I don't need a Dungeoneer pack. I'm not going.
I'm gonna look at him and be like, "Oh, who's gonna protect me?"
It's not my problem. Kind of is my
Oh,
problem.
I'll protect you.
You're not tall enough to stop arrows from hitting me, sir.
Anyway, that is it.
If you need it, we also arranged for a night in
But I can stop them from shooting.
the Griffin's Nest Inn and Tavern.
Said Griffin's Nest.
Well, we did rest recently, so
Yeah, Griffin's Nest
Up
Inn and
on
Tavern.
that.
And it is early in the morning.
yeah.
That's
we-
probably why he's grumpy. He hasn't his coffee.
Oh, fair enough. So are we at this point just shopping? Because
Yeah.
I already have my list all set.
Anything
I-
that's in the player's handbook that's not crazy expensive. I mean, largely kind of the.
Breastplate, maybe.
I think that's going to be. Let me double check the price.
No, that's 400. I'll just do chain shirt
I'm not even close to stone classes.
or scale mail. Scale mail, even better.
He can do breastplate, but you're going to have to take less on weapons and shields.
Yeah, that's
and
what I
stuff.
mean. Scale mail.
Well, no, I said he can do breastplate, but he's not going to have as much for you in terms of weapons and stuff.
No, I'm just gonna do
Breastplate's expensive. Okay, whatever. Chainmail or-
chain shirt, and like some kind of sword, long sword, something dex based. I think.
rapier.
Yeah, would be the best thing.
Yeah, it's not a light weapon, so you can't dual wield it. You can't dual wield two of them, but without the feet. But it's still a dex weapon.
It's gonna be 75 gold for that rapier.
I'm gonna
That was funny.
It's fucking
stock
hilarious.
up on some arrows. Since we've been desperately trying to, equip ourselves. Are you keeping track of this, Rotu, or do you want us to?
Honestly, at the end, just tell me the total.
Okay, that sounds great.
So, I mean, anything you need that seems applicable for like weapons and armor or anything gear, like they're not going to want to go out of their way to get you like a blacksmithing kit or anything like that. But
Is there a ranger kit, a dungeon? What do I need?
they do have bows and they have crossbows, depending on your actual preference.
Crossbow.
I know that's your preference, but you were kind of learning how to make the bow, so I wasn't sure which one you were going to go. But they have the full array of actual crossbows.
Yeah.
Like I said, anything in the player's handbook they tend to have, maybe not the full set of plate. And less as it gets more expensive, but a lot of the gear they have. They also, for what it's worth, they do have, like I said, dry goods, so like rations and stuff. That comes with the Dungeoneers kit, I believe. but they also have a lot of mining equipment. Axes and ropes and climbing gear and stuff specifically tailored to mining and dealing with mountainous areas. But you can get quivers and bolts and
I'll actually specifically ask him about that. I don't even really know what orcs are, but common fighting ways that like fighting styles and
you don't know what an orc is?
no.
He's gonna laugh and point at Grendar, and Grendar's gonna kind of shoot him a glare. Yeah, I have. Shut up.
Do we have a little bit of time before we're taking off to this encounter?
It's up to you guys, because like you said, they booked one night at the inn for you if you needed it.
Well, I'm
But it is-
planning on
or-
adjusting. Oh, I'm sorry.
It is early in the morning, so it's up to you
Okay.
whether you want to head out or. But I mean, assuming you're gonna want to find out a little bit more details about it before heading out immediately. But it's
Yeah.
up to you whether you want to stay the full day and head out early in the morning or try and head out midday or whatever today.
I'm going to be shifting my packed weapon from longbow to light crossbow.
Okay.
Which means I'll be changing arrows out for bolts.
Yeah, I'm gonna have 2 short swords instead of a rapier. Just because I can.
Okay. What was Daria getting?
A Dungeoneer pack. A
Well,
crossbow.
the Dungeoneer pack was included for free.
Oh, okay. So the crossbow, bolts, um, mm, rations.
Rations in the Dungeoneers pack, I believe.
Oh, is there? Okay.
Yeah, 10
Yeah,
days
there's
of
10 days
rations.
of rations and a water skin.
Okay.
Does you usually need armor?
My brain stopped working. What's the? Yeah, leather armor,
You want base leather?
studded leather.
Studded leather. Okay. It's going to be a lot different. Getting the armor on the what is it?
Also, why do I
You
have
got-
2
you got-
hand axes?
I don't know. You don't. You got the chain shirt, which
I know, but it's on my it's on my sheet. It's like I don't remember putting that there.
then delete it.
Oh, I want to get a short sword as well.
The armor is different. Like you guys are more used to the kind of underwater equivalents. It's less weird for Altus because his entire body is different. So it's a little different putting on the rings and stuff. I mean, he probably dealt with something similar, just different materials. But Daria putting on the studded leather, this does feel a lot different than underwater stuff because this is actually like hardened leather.
Sorry,
And
don't
kind
you
of
have
like
the-
the studs kind of come out like umbrellas, like almost like the top of half closed umbrellas where they're not just like little studs, they're like the center pokes out and then they have like little kind of umbrella-ing that kind of goes with like grooves. But it's kind of dwarven kind of liberties to the design, but it's different having the actual studded leather that's not underwater stuff. If fish gets water, fish gets water. If fish gets armor, it's not gonna be any different. Probably be more natural because he spent a lot more time above water than underwater. But
Yeah.
he can get himself a portable cave.
Daria, don't you have the 2-weapon thing from Ranger?
I have.
She went archery.
Oh, did you go archery? I thought you went.
Say that. Say that one more time. I didn't hear what you said.
The
I-
weapon, this weapon style or whatever it is. Because Rangers
Yeah.
get a weapon
Yeah,
style.
you went archery.
Yeah, I have archery. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I thought
Yeah.
you went the two weapon.
No,
one.
we realized that when in the middle of a fight that she was dual wielding, but she was like, I use the range more often. It makes more sense for the overall span of the character. That's what she would have
Yeah.
specialized in.
Okay.
I could use a short sword, but I'm proficient in the crossbow. Because yeah, I just use the short sword and if I have to in a melee.
That's fine.
I thought you dual wielded short swords though.
Yeah, she did. That's why.
Still, you just don't have the bonuses to it, like the extra
Okay.
damage or the ability to use non-light weapons and stuff like that. So you can still get 2 short swords and dual wield them.
Okay, I got 2 then. Oh, here we go. How many? I have 20. And then I still have a bow, just a regular bow, the one that I made, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Um,
You're probably going to want to pick up a... Well, no, you went the crossbow, so the bow will be fine.
Okay.
It's not going to last very long. You can probably put more time into it.
I'll say it's a short bow.
Yeah.
And I have 10 arrows. I'm just putting on my sheet so I'd. So it's accurate.
What was Fish getting for armor or anything?
I have grabbed a suit of studded leather, a shield, and a healer's kit.
The studded leather has the same kind of studs as the other armor does. The kind of like umbrella.
Ooh,
I mean, they're not like huge. It's instead of just being like little studs, they're a little bit more ornate. So they're dwarven made.
I mean, I do have proficiency. I do have very high medicine. So I could probably use a healer's kit too.
The healer kit is because I don't have a high medicine check. It means I don't have to roll a medicine check to stabilize somebody if they're dying.
Yeah. That's why I think Spirit of Dying is a dumb spell. Neither here nor there. So was everyone good? Was there anything else people wanted?
Oh, yeah,
Not that I can
honestly,
think
that's
of off
good.
the top of my head.
So crossbow, studded leather, quiver, and some bolts.
I don't need the crossbow. I'm
I was Daria, and then Altus was getting
2 short
chain
swords.
shirt and 2 short swords.
Yep, and a shield. Well, no, I already have a shield for some reason.
No, you don't.
But whatever, I'll get a shield.
And a shield.
Geeky, are you wearing the same gear I am?
I don't know. I'm wearing I'm wearing studded leather armor.
Studded leather, shield, and a crossbow?
No,
I
she
do
went
not have a shield.
2 short
I'm
bows.
using the shield while I cast spells, but I have to put it down in order to use the crossbow.
Yeah, no, I have a crossbow. I have 2 short swords. I have a crossbow. I have studded leather armor, short swords. Yeah.
I also will be grabbing a melee weapon. Nothing crazy, but I will let you know when I figure out exactly what I want.
Okay. Were you getting a quiver? Or bolt case, or whatever the hell it's called.
Yeah, I'll probably have a bolt case since I think I need one anyway.
Was Chowder getting anything?
No, I don't need any weapons and armor. I just needed a bag.
Okay. Then you can't.
Yeah, I know. But... Or I don't need more for me to carry that I don't need to carry.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just gonna, while they're shopping, I'll talk to the guy about tactics, about fighting, how orcs fight and whatnot,
They're
since I've never fought orcs before.
And he
Really?
is one.
really big, really strong, very aggressive.
Okay.
Not all that bright, but they can. When it comes to battle, they tend to know what they're doing. So don't underestimate them.
Okay.
On the, I'm not certain. I'm pretty sure you guys would have this since it's weapons. Whip.
Anything that's in the player's handbook,
Oh, great. Awesome.
except for like platelets, like super expensive or anything like that. But anything in the player's handbook to have.
Yeah, so that's what I'm going to grab. So I'll add a whip to my list.
Oh, damn it, I forgot. Before you guys left, I totally spaced this. Brother Vidon was actually probably when you were giving him the seahorse thing. Seahorse kind of I don't know whether it was a charm or anything, just kind of little token or whatever. Would have given you you or each of you a bunch of potions.
Oh,
If you went by yourself, he would have given you 8 and said we arranged to have for you guys to each have 2 on your travels and adventures to stay safe. If not, if anybody went with you, they would have given him to you specifically. But essentially, he was giving you guys a couple of potions, so enough to have 2 each.
cool.
Healing potions.
Yes.
What's this? Is it like a grungberry?
What's this?
What's this? What's this?
I was like, I need to watch that movie.
Orcs everywhere. What's this? What's this?
Why? It's a Christmas movie.
Hell yeah.
You watch it at Christmas and Halloween. Duh.
True, it's a twofer.
Really, you're supposed to compromise and watch it at Thanksgiving.
Yep.
Yeah.
I watch it Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and
4th of July.
I don't see.
It's like Die Hard. You can watch it. It's a Christmas movie, but you can watch it whenever.
Yeah.
I don't celebrate Halloween or Christmas. Yes, it is.
Die Hard takes place at Christmas.
Yeah, Die Hard's a Christmas movie.
A Christmas
Never
miracle.
seen it.
You
Well,
are uncultured.
That's besides the point. It is a Christmas movie. Just like Frozen is a summer movie.
That's true.
It takes place in June.
It's
June or July or something like that.
or Rotu's worst nightmare.
Yeah.
Suddenly ice and snow everywhere.
The second worst nightmare.
That
Mm.
movie's not allowed in my house.
The Mist was my...
You mean Frozen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lex wanted to watch. He's like, we should watch movies. We're like, yeah, Mist in the fog? No, considering where we live, not a good idea.
Mist in the Fog?
The Mist and the movie The Fog. Because we live in Maine, you know.
Where it took
Where,
place.
where Stephen King lives. So
Ooh.
Oh, that's
I
where
like those movies.
Haven. That's
Yeah.
where Haven is.
Yeah.
Haven. Haven's a good thing too.
A good show.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it was that good of a show, but I only caught pieces of it. It was an okay show.
I love that show.
My wife watched it. I think they had like 3 seasons or something, 4 seasons, something like that. Right?
5.5.
I
Is it
watched about 80% of it. Most of what I watched was batshit crazy.
I think that's part of the reason why I didn't get all that into it. As I only kind of caught parts of it, and like crazy parts where like they're traveling interdimensional to figure out people who were immortal from the 1700s who were witches. I mean, I
really
get
I
a
love
little bit more of the story, but it I don't know, it wasn't that appealing, I guess.
That's because you missed the first 4 seasons.
Probably.
That was like the last season.
Was it?
Yeah.
I don't watch a lot of TV anyways.
like I said, I caught about 80% of it, so about So about 20% of each season,
Okay.
or thereabouts.
So you guys were done with gear.
And the only reason I really got caught wind of Haven even happening is because one of the characters from
All right,
Eureka
yeah.
was going to be on it.
Okay.
I think I have everything. I have. I'll read it to you. If I need anything else, can you let me know? I have the crossbow. I have the Dungeoneer's pack. I have bolts. I have studded leather armor. I have 2 short swords. I have a short bow. I have arrows, and I have potions of healing.
Probably a quiver, not quiver, maybe a quiver if you want to keep them separate from your arrows. I mean your bolts, but bolt case.
Quiver. Oh. Bolt case.
I think that's what it's called.
Crossbow bolt case. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not dragging on. Oops, there it goes. All right.
Rotu, my total came to
Uh,
64.
Okay.
I have no idea how much anything costs.
I
and
know. I
my-
was gonna figure that out after, but I'm gonna write it down since you threw the number at me.
Yeah, sorry. That's what I've been doing is going through the SRD and adding up
That's-
what I
That's
owe
fine.
you.
I'm just you tossed me the number, so I'm gonna write it down. I was gonna figure it out after.
I did not, in fact, grab a portable cave, so mainly because they weigh like 20 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I can write down what Chowder got.
Mm.
Chowder.
Nothing.
0. I can figure out the totals later, like after the game, if you guys don't want to figure it out now. It's not that big of a deal. I just need the list. So you guys are done shopping.
Mhm.
Okay. Keldeg will kind of. I mean, he's not really going to say thank you for shopping because he's sort of already been paid. But he will kind of, as you're leaving, kind of stop you and, I wish you well. I know where you're going, and I'm glad, and I hope you guys are successful. It'd be nice to have my homeland kind of cleared out. So I wish you well, and I wish you safe travels, and I wish you success.
Daria, Mike.
I'm going to grab one more thing on my way out. I'm just going to grab a set of caltrips. That's an additional 1.
So I wrote it in pen.
I'll wait till you're done and then keep shopping.
That should not be as funny as it is.
What happened? What did I miss?
Dude, Fish bought something else, and Rochi was like, "That's cool. I'll add it to the list because I wrote it in pen." That's why I'm like, it shouldn't be that funny. It is.
Can't wait until I have more strength, more hammer.
So if you guys are done, you can kind of see I forget Grendar and Phil kind of standing outside. I never remember any of my. I remember my NPCs' names, but I don't remember anyone else's. They're kind of while you guys are shopping and largely kind of getting dressed and putting armor on and stuff like that, sorting it out. Phil and Grendar are standing outside, kind of chatting. So you guys finish kind of shopping and pop out. Grandar will kind of look at you and be like, good. Now, when you're ready, we can go and I can explain what's going on.
Okay.
So he'll walk back to his office. I'm assuming you guys follow, but
Mm-hmm.
anyway, he'll go back to. Damn it! Stop zooming in so fucking far. Why is it not fucking? Whatever. Good enough, I guess. Whatever. He'll go back to his office and kind of rummage through some stuff. Kind of in the corner, some drawers and stuff. Pull out a bunch of kind of rolled up piece of parchment and kind of thumb through a couple of them before finally finding one. Kind of coming to his desk and unrolling a large kind of top-down map of the area. Kind of pinning it to his desk a bit. Did you guys all transition?
I see it.
To talk. Well, no one said anything, so I wasn't sure if it actually moved or anything, or if it was having issues. This is Stonetooth Mountain. This is where you're headed. If you follow the path, going right out of Glasingdale, you should come up at this path here. Bit of a rugged kind of woodland walk. Should take 2, maybe 3 days. If you're good with traveling through the woods, probably take about 2 days, but if not 3, it's not too bad, but it can be a little bit tiring.
You have never seen Fish as happy as he is right now.
Huh?
Why?
What?
That is the biggest, tallest place I've ever seen.
I've been to 1,400 feet.
I need to go there right now.
I don't know why it was abandoned or taken over. I don't think these orcs were the first ones in there, so I suspect it's more than just orcs. I have no proof of that, so I just want to tell you to kind of keep your guard up, I guess. I don't think it's just going to be orcs. I don't think orcs are capable, but they've definitely been at the top level, most of what's in there. There's a lot of heavy orc activity in the area. We actually caught an orc recently, and kind of through charm magic got it to tell us that they were set up in the Stonetooth. So they're definitely in the caves.
Nothing. What I'm saying. So would I be able to navigate these caves like I am the ones underwater?
Yep.
Fantastic.
Caves are caves. I mean, underwater versus above, but still caves are caves for the most part. It's not that different, that at least mechanically, that I'm going to say no. I mean, then point out where the trail ends. About there is where the entrance to the major entrance to the city is, or the Kundrakar is. I know there's other ways in. I don't know where they are. It might behoove you to not go in the front gate, but
Be right back.
you do what you gotta, I suppose. Was there anything you guys needed to know or any questions?
Is this where we are now? Blossingdale? Is this the closest?
Yes. I mean, there's small little settlements and stuff, but not along the road. A lot of them are temporary or just like a house here or there. But this is the closest kind of sizable settlement.
Okay.
City. Village, whatever you want to call it. Town. Mining town. And you can look when you're here, which is different than being in Silver Moon area, because you just kind of look and see nothing, and mostly like when you look far off in the distance, it turns into either just kind of dropping off on the horizon or forests. Here you can see there's mountains on the north, the east, and the direct west, but a bit to the northwest. But there's entire mountain ranges going from east to west. Which probably isn't as weird to you guys as a forest are, to be honest.
Except trees.
Right.
We do not have patrols that go out that far, anywhere near that far. So kind of once you're out, you're on your own.
Okay, what's this? He's showing us this map, right?
Yes,
Okay, what's this?
I don't know what it is.
Okay.
I've never. I've been near there, but I've never bothered to go that close to the Stone Tooth. I had no reason to. So, I have this map. This is kind of an old map. I just know what the map is, and I know a couple of things that I've been told. Right at the end of the trail is the main entrance, and I do know that I've heard there's other entrances. However you want to go about that is up to you. Nothing, no questions.
About
I'm sorry. In regards to the group itself here, I'm sorry. Do we have a ranger in this group?
I'm a ranger.
Oh, I'm assuming you're not a ranger for mountainous or forest areas.
Caves.
Okay.
Close enough. All right.
Yeah. I figured cave was the smartest one to take in the ocean.
Yeah.
Well, it might be applicable here. Any chance you might be able to find us another way in?
I can certainly try. So I'll go and scout out around to find another entrance.
Well, you're like 3 days out. He's showing you the
Oh.
map of the mountain.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Then yes, I will. When we get there, I will scout it out.
Although you can roll survival.
Hopefully, I'll do better than the last time.
Hold up. I'm going to give you inspiration. Bardic inspiration. D6.
You can do it.
Can do it.
You good girl.
You can have the D6.
Woohoo. Got it.
still did decently.
Can I give him disinspiration? Quit your toe stomping.
I don't pay attention to him.
There's no shit.
What do you mean?
There's
What-
not a ton of details on it, but one of the things you'll know, the thing that was kind of pointed out was the kind of drawn on smokestack. There's definitely some sort of way in there, whether it goes to the dwarven area where you want to be or not. That kind of stuff, that smoke pouring out, has to come from somewheres. So, I mean, he doesn't know, but you're comfortable saying that there's definitely something there. Whether it connects or not, you don't know. You'll have to look closer there, but it's definitely a point of interest.
Okay. So I will make a mental note of that. I don't have cartography skills, but I have I can still write it down.
Yeah.
If there's part because I learned some minuscule cartography skills when Mija was here.
I have navigator's tools.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do.
You didn't have
Right.
any gear left.
Oh yeah, you're
All
right.
you have is the gear that you just got.
That's why
My proficiency in navigator's tools.
it's like
Yeah.
I erased literally everything I had.
Yeah, that's why it was.
Yeah, me
it's,
too.
It's that's why it's just still kind of part of the soft reboot. He's just kind of re-gearing you guys out. But weird. I mean, not weird, but like stuff that you're not going to need specifically for this wouldn't have been included because it's not important. I do know that I'm not the only one hired. Well, I'm being hired by the city to have you guys clear out the orcs, at least deal with the majority of the orcs, slow them down. But I do know the Baron Alton was looking for specific things in there too. You could talk to him, or you could just kind of see if you stumble upon them and see if he has any interest afterwards. Either is probably worth noting, I guess.
Sorry, I'm being abused.
Is it Baron Alton?
Yes, Alton. Althon.
And where would he be?
Mm.
Let me look in the book. Is there also in the woods in particular? Is there things that we might run into that you know of?
Animals, definitely orcs. Well, guaranteed orcs, but their orcs are in the area, obviously, and they have no problem coming out in the woods.
Be anything else? Not like I would know what it is anyway. What's a deer?
Yeah, well, I was just gonna say wild animals.
Okay.
Alton actually doesn't live in the city. So it might be if you're gonna head up there now, it might be something you check into after. I knew he was looking for specific dwarven blades or something.
Might be interested in that.
Oh, we're not going to find any of it sitting around here.
So just grab everything and talk to him after we do it, or
What time of day is it?
It's still early morning. It's probably converting for time zones. No, it's probably getting close to like mid-morning, 9, 10.
Okay, so still early enough to set out.
Yeah.
We should have looked for a portable cave.
those are heavy. We discussed it
Yeah.
already.
Oh, where was I?
Probably
In
being
space.
kicked.
Yeah, I
Um,
believe you were being beat up.
She hardly moved at all yesterday, and today she's been kicking the crap out of me.
Chowder.
She's making up for it.
She wanted to play D&D.
Yeah.
Gonna be a monk.
For certain, a monk.
Something
Uh-huh.
like that. And she doesn't like it when I sit down. So if I'm sitting down, she will kick me until I stand up.
Just start playing laying down.
I know, right?
Just go to those like things you can move. Just be like, "Yes." Ignore the double, triple chins on Preggers. It's forgiven. So where is Baron Alton then? If he doesn't live in town, is he?
I think he is. I don't have the map in front of me. One of the cities further south.
Oh, so
I want to say Mirabar, but I don't have the map in front of me. I can let you know definitively after searching for the map. Oh. Actually, I think I have.
So we'd have to go way out of our way to figure
I
out
have
what
the map up. I can search. One second. Let me find it. Usually I have the like the game map up, but I don't. So I can actually look through my folders without screwing up the
everything.
Well, they're just kind of weirdly popping up as I think. No, it still kind of pops up there. Oh well.
Taking notes. Taking notes. Don't go there, right? Okay.
Yeah, it's Mirabar.
Not like I personally would know how far away that is.
It's not that far. It's a much easier road, so probably like a day and a half. Depending on whether it's on horse or not. But it's a dwarven city.
Well, I would assume that this is more to the group, that the orcs are a more prominent threat than getting random stuff for this guy. So worst case, we come back, we don't have what he has, we can go back after we've cleared it out.
Yep.
Try to pick up anything that looks magic, maybe, or somewhat important. And call it good. Hopefully we get lucky and it's what we need.
Well, I think he was looking for dwarven artifacts, but especially dwarven weapons.
I
think any pertinent information about it.
Does anyone here still have any pearls?
No one would because they were.
Unless you put them in the pocket.
Guys, the gods gave you a prison pocket for a reason.
Actually, that's new to me. To be fair.
We could always get some.
Well, provided we have some, I would be able to identify anything we came across, given a few minutes to do so.
Right. Well, I mean, we could always go to a, underwater. We're still capable of that, correct? At least I
Two of you
am.
are. No, yeah, actually, you're the only one.
Oh,
Yeah, I
Okay.
can't go underwater anymore.
Because he's spec'd out of Sorcerer.
Given we're still in the planning stages, is there any chance that the people looking for these dwarven artifacts and dwarven weapons might be able to front a few pearls to make sure that we're not dragging a bunch of useless crap back?
Like, the guy is like a day south of here. That's what we were talking about.
Yeah, he's in Mirabar.
Okay, so
He was like 30,
Guys,
40 miles
no.
south.
Why do you want pearls? That's
He's-
good.
To identify, he just said that.
Oh,
I don't think he's specifically looking for magic items.
okay,
Fi-
well, in that case,
fish.
yes.
Sorry, go ahead. I interrupted you.
Well, if he's not looking for magic items, then my identify isn't necessary.
Well, I don't think he's specifically looking for magic items. I think he's definitely got an interest, but he does have interest in just regular weapons. A lot of it's history and techniques and, collecting, stuff like that.
So a history check would probably be just as good.
Well, no, that's what the character, the Alton wants it for.
Well, I mean, in regards to figuring out whether it's something we should drag back with us or not, I would assume a simple history check would tell us that, hey, this actually is a a relic of this versus this is some crap that the orcs left behind.
Mhm.
If you can't tell the difference between dwarven make and orc make, you're probably an idiot.
Not all of us in this group are intelligent. I being probably one of the lesser intelligent ones in this group.
This is intelligence is a 12.
It does
That's
come
your
across a
character.
little weird how anti-orc this guy is, considering he's half-orc, but
Yeah.
Mm.
That's what made Altus really suspicious.
all this being suspicious doesn't mean anything.
I didn't think anything of it. Maybe his orc side of the family were jerks.
Yeah, for being suspicious, I don't see any insight checks. Altus.
So Fish, did you get the water that you needed?
I did get a water skin with that dungeoneering kit.
Was it filled with water?
No, it wouldn't have been filled with water.
I would presume that we
But
can
you guys can fill it
near
with water.
creek or whatever.
Okay.
Unless it's just a cantrip for you.
You can find a well.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it.
Well.
Is it a cantrip?
Yeah. Create water.
Yeah, I think create water is a cantrip. I think the create.
No, create water is like a first level spell.
It's a spell, yeah.
I don't think rangers get cantrips.
Racial.
Yeah, we do.
Also, or no, you get shape water as a racial.
Yeah, I have shape water, yeah.
It's a duck.
Well, I guess I'll just fill it at a well. It's not a huge deal. I could have filled it at a river or whatever if I do run out.
Hmm. Hmm. So are we going to bash some heads in?
Yeah, rangers don't get cantrips.
I'm down to go unless anybody needs anything.
Rangers don't get cantrips?
Yeah, they don't get 0 level spells. They only get first level and above. I think paladins are like that too.
Mm-hmm.
It's my...
You don't have any.
No, I have spells. I have...
Yeah, you have spells. You just don't get cantrips, which is the like infinity used ones.
Right.
So what are you guys doing then?
I think we have all the information we can think of. Probably head out, right, guys?
Shape
Yeah.
water is a cantrip.
Kill,
But that's for
kill all-
my...
Kill all the bad guys. Bring all the loot. Kick ass, take names. Except I didn't bring
And
Venom Paper,
collect
so I-
some way ears or noses or eyes. I don't give a shit. Somebody to prove you killed orcs.
Is it just orcs?
Yeah,
What if there are other things?
orcs are what the city's paying for.
Okay.
It's beyond me.
So
They're the biggest. They're the biggest issue.
could we bring proof of other things and then maybe they'll pay for those too? But
It's not up to me. That's up to
that's
the mayor.
no, I understand.
Heads are heavy. Let's take hearts.
Yuck.
Wouldn't ears take up less space?
You know they're dead, I guess, if you take the hearts.
Yeah, I can cut off somebody's ear and not kill them.
What if I get hungry? Yeah, but suddenly there's like
Ears, we won't be needing them.
there's suddenly an entire group of orcs that just have no ears.
Hey, It'd be a funny one shot.
They've never heard of me. It's weird. But only for ones that failed their perception checks. The best spell. Roll a perception check. That's your saving throw. If you fail, you lose your ears.
He's gonna punch him off.
Papa! Papa!
I was kind of thinking I'd just convince them to give them to me.
Lend me your ears. I'm a monk in tights. I'm gonna walk around the forest looking for.
You know what?
I am gonna walk around the forest looking for fights.
I'm down.
Okay. Unless everybody has anything, I'm gonna say that we're heading out.
Okay.
Get at least half a day. Oh no, it's the Popo.
Or me.
Well, it couldn't be. They'd be driving a long distance to get to you.
Was me. Okay, safe travels. That was weird.
Thank you.
Phil's kind of been sitting in the back. We'll wish you well too. He's gonna be heading home, but hopefully you guys have everything you need. If you find yourself over in the watery deep, in the silvery moon. I can't fucking name the city. I just invented 3 new cities.
Watery Moon and Silvery Deep.
Yeah,
Fusion. Ha!
they're half elf cities. If you find yourself over in the silvery moon, I wanted to call it silvery deep again.
Somewhere.
The silvery moon area again, I'd be happy to hear from you. Know you're doing well. Knowing you're doing well. I can't talk anymore. Must be past my pumpkin time.
Well, I agree
Past
with
mine.
all of the assistance you've given us.
All right.
More
I'm,
than
Yes.
necessary.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We appreciate it.
Of course.
Are we still talking to that same half orc?
No, kind of saying goodbyes to Phil.
Phil.
Travel safe and take care of yourself.
I thank you for all your help, Phil.
And then you guys head off.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Oh wait, that's not how I walk anymore.
Are we immediately like we walk out and it's like into the forest we go, or is it like a road and it leads into the forest, or?
You're already kind of in the forest.
All right. So as I'm going along, I'm going to collect a couple of extra reagents that can be found in nature, tree sap, that sort of thing.
Okay.
These nuts, you know.
I'll say, I mean, worst case scenario, you can ask Daria to help you kind of look for it, but honestly, you're more familiar with above the water than she is anyways, but
Yeah, this isn't real hard to find stuff.
yeah, no, I know. But what I'm saying is I'm not even gonna bother having you roll.
Yeah, no, I'm
you're
not.
just gonna spend the kind of the rest of the day being like, oh, that is something I need. Can we stop for a second so I can grab that kind of thing?
Yep.
Just kind of keeping an eye out. You guys will go out and spend majority of the day kind of walking along the path. It's very quiet. It's not like overgrown and not used, but it's a less used path. Like it's not like the one from Watery Deep, Silvery Moon to the temple was a very big, wide, and a lot of traffic kind of going back and forth. This one is basically just you. Maybe you see 1 or 2 other people kind of traveling along it, but very few people along the path. But so it's a very quiet day. You'll go in and I mean, you heard him kind of when you initially went in, but more in the woods. it's a little weirder being around it because you're just gonna have constant birds kind of whistling off in the distance, which is kind of weird for the people who haven't spent a lot of time in the above ground in the woods, or more in nature, I guess. But
Is that a chig or a piggin?
yes, it's piggin.
Piggin. They taste good. We should go kill a piggin.
But so you guys will walk for the majority of the day till you get to a spot where largely Daria says, "Well, I think this is a good spot to camp. It's gonna be dark soon." Not a lot, not everything of your nature training translates, but a lot of the basics translate. You're not gonna be as familiar with like the specific like fauna and stuff like that, but
Right.
the fundamentals will be basically the same, or at least close enough that you'll be able to figure it out.
Okay.
I'm gonna do the whole, cross between Rain Man and the Miracle Worker. Every time I catch some sort of animal or something, I'm gonna bring it back to her, tell her what it is.
You want me to clear out a landing pad?
I forgot about that.
Those are super helpful, right?
The what?
Those are super helpful, right?
More here than underwater, to be honest. Because you guys underwater got very used to just kind of camping in a hole or kind of huddling under something. In here, it's a very different kind of thing where you have to set up a bit of a camp. And honestly, it's Fish that's probably pointing a lot of this out. So
Happy to help.
you guys will kind of go off to the side of the road, find a spot that Daria is comfortable with, start kind of setting up a landing pad. Probably, I assume you probably picked up a little bit of wood and stuff throughout the course of the day too, but definitely spend a little bit of time probably setting up a bit of a campfire and camp. Daria probably can spend the time while you guys are setting up camp to go out and catch a couple of rabbits and bring them back.
If she needs to roll any survival checks on this, I'd be happy to assist.
No, it's just part of the ranger class. It's just to kind of being able to kind of go out and find food and stuff for herself or the group and stuff. That's just part of the range. That's one. I think that's like literally one of the ranger abilities, isn't it?
I think it's more specific to the environment.
Say that again. What?
The ability to go out and find food and stuff. I thought that was like explorer or whatever. One of them.
think
I don't
that-
know.
Yeah.
Anyways.
I think that's just innate ranger ability.
When you forage, I think it's in your natural explorer.
Class
Putting it in
features.
or more in your favorite terrain. I think you can naturally forage, but in her natural terrain, she could forage twice as much food.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I know there's a difference between that and the one from the player's handbook and the UA, but it's fine. I'm just giving her she'll go out and catch a couple of rabbits, probably a couple of like berries or a bunch of berries and stuff, and bring them back. And you guys can cut them up and cook them over the fire and eat. You guys setting watches or?
Probably.
Same order as last time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoever wants to take first, and then I could take the rest of the night.
Yeah. I took first last time, so I'll do it again.
Yeah, it went Daria, then me, then you. So we'll do the same thing again.
I could
Okay.
do 8
So
hours.
Daria's first. So Daria roll D100. Okay. You taking 2-hour watches still, or?
We're each doing 2 hours, and then because Chado only has to sleep 4 hours, he's taking the
Okay.
rest.
Okay, so your watch goes by relatively quietly. The only thing of note is as it kind of dark as the sun goes down, a lot of the daytime chirping goes away. It's quieter. You do hear the occasional like hooting of an owl.
Okay. But do I know what it is?
Not specifically,
That's a great point.
but
So-
you do hear it.
So I'll just go, whoo, whoo. I'll just talk back to it.
Okay. Now you can spend part mid of your watch trying to kind of mimic the sounds of the owl.
Oh, I can speak with animals.
Yeah, it's a spell.
I know.
But you'll go kick fish.
I would never kick fish.
Well,
my
wake him
job.
up.
I'm a kingfish.
Unless he tries to eat chowder.
So you guys will switch watches, and fish can roll D100.
Okay. I will be right back.
So she comes and wakes you up, and you wake up, and it's probably boring. Were you going to do anything while you were on watch, or just...
During this time, I guess I don't know what you'll need me to roll, but I do need a few newt eyes, so I am gonna hunt some nocturnal lizards.
Okay. Roll survival. I said roll it, and I looked over and saw 26. I was like, holy shit, and I realized that was your D100. Okay. You're not going to have any success. I mean, you're going to know more about where they are. Look around kind of some more damp areas and stuff, but you're not going to find any throughout the course of the night.
It's all right. I'll find them at some point. If I don't, it's no big deal.
Might be confusing with salmon. Not salmon, salamanders. But either way.
Oh, well.
Your DM survival is too low that you fail.
Shit.
No. But otherwise, your watch goes by relatively quiet and uneventful.
All right, I'm gonna walk up to Chowda and headbutt him. Not aggressively, of course. More like a nudge.
Like a cat, you're gonna row up against him.
Yeah, there we go. I'll just climb on top of him and start kneading on his chest.
Feed me, feed me.
Patting on his chest like a cat.
No, the kneading, the like clawing.
He starts licking me, cleaning, bathing me.
Oh,
Could you stop that, please? I'm only-
5 more minutes of this, and I'm gonna get angry.
You overestimate my patience.
Your kind of trance is, you don't know. I mean, you probably assume a little bit because it's the second night.
Mhm.
It's a lot less intense. The first time was really kind of a lot, but also you're not right next to Silvermoon, or the kind of the capital of Elven. You don't know if that ties in or not, but it definitely kind of pops in your head. And I need you to roll a D100. Actually, well, roll one. Okay, now roll it a second time. Okay. The same. The 4 hours will go by. Be very quiet. You'll start kind of the hooting of the owls will slowly kind of fade away, and you'll start hearing the chirping of the same kinds of birds that were out through the day, and you'll start kind of seeing the sun come up through the trees, and the other people will start kind of coming to consciousness.
Okay.
So what are you guys doing once it's morning?
Heading to the caves to knock in some skulls.
So,
Mm.
are we close to where we're supposed to be?
It's 2 to 3 days.
Okay, so we're
Oh
okay.
shit!
So just we're gonna keep heading that way then, I guess. Eat breakfast
Mhm.
and keep heading that way.
Okay.
I'm gonna see what animals I can find and kill.
Stop every couple of hours to rest because we're still kind of not used to this weather and terrain and everything.
Yes and no. I mean, you're not intimately familiar with it, but you're comfortable being out in nature. There's
Well, I
it's
meant like
no, I know, but it's like being somewhere's new. Like there's a sense of excitement that kind of invigorates you. I mean, just being a natural explorer, just being out in the wild is your preference, but especially being somewhere's new has its appeal. Like, and I think you're very comfortable. Plus, some of it does translate. Like, you'll be able to kind of keep pace, and it's small things like knowing, like, okay, kind of gauging people and being like, well, I think now's a good time to kind of sit down for 5 minutes and rest to get the best out of it instead of trying to burn them and walk for 4 hours and then take an hour off. You walk for an hour and then take 5 minutes. It keeps up the better pace, which overall makes you so you can push for more distance over the course of the day. It's small things like that I think the ranger are more kind of aware of and in tune with, that help it stick out and kind of ignore difficult terrain and stuff.
right.
The words were there, I just couldn't find them.
Plus, we're used to under the ocean, which has a lot higher pressure.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. I was talking about physiologically, we're not used to it.
Well, it's a lot lighter up here.
No, I know.
Yeah,
I'm just there,
We're going,
but
we're going much faster. It's weird.
and things are heavier. We're carrying these packs, and we're not used to the weight
Okay.
on them.
For you guys.
Hmm.
So, Daria, roll me a survival real quick.
You're the ones who decided to play a class that only doesn't just punch things.
Mm.
You're looking at the map and you've kind of followed the trail and you're getting to the point where it starts to I think it's at the no, it's actually right where it starts to kind of seriously start pulling up elevation. That goes from up to start kind of picking up some
So about
serious feet.
1,000.
No, at about the 200, where it starts to turn sharply to the left. You're pretty comfortable that you can actually just go in a straight line and find your way through it and cut a lot of time off.
Okay.
So, I mean, whether you just want to do that or tell them or...
Oh yeah. So I think we should go this way. I think we would save a lot of time if we went straight through this way.
Okay. I trust you. This is what you do.
Mm.
And you'll push them through. I mean, you're not going to make excellent time because this is hard woods, but you're going to pick up a lot of time over having to go around that bend. You can definitely see the appeal of it and why people went around it. There's as it starts to pick up elevation, there's drop offs and cliffs and stuff that you have to kind of maneuver around. But so you know why they built it to go around, because if they did it every day or people a little less comfortable in it, it's a lot easier to kind of have this path that goes around. But you're just a lot more comfortable, blazing your own trail to some extent. And you wanted to cut off some time.
Hmm.
So you'll pick up a lot of time skipping and going straight through, even though you kind of have to maneuver around and go up. Like straight drop-offs, you'll have to kind of curve around and go up and around, which will be longer. But the overall amount of time is less than you think it would have taken to go all the way around. And you start to kind of hit the trail again, and kind of start to go around the other bend. About what time it starts to get. It's starting to get kind of late.
Okay.
So it's up to you whether you want to try
Like
and
there-ish.
no. Here, like
Oh damn.
you guys were coming here, and she decided to come.
Oh,
Actually, let
okay.
me.
Sorry, I thought you meant
No,
Really?
she was coming here, and she decided she thinks going this way was faster than going all the way around.
Oh, okay.
So you guys hit
Yeah, we
there
did
and
see.
then travel for maybe another hour and a half, and start to kind of come around this bend over here.
Okay. So we're getting really close to the gate.
Baldur's
Okay.
Gate?
No.
Oh, that was a joke.
So it's up to you guys which direction you want to do, what the plan is, whether you want to push
Hmm.
on or set up camp and attack this in the morning.
Okay. Now, do you guys want to set up camp here, or do you want to keep going? It's getting late.
Quick query: that giant smokestack on the map, is that actually a giant smokestack in reality?
It is.
Can we see it from where we are?
Yes. It's not as thick as it's shown to be in the picture. It's very thin, but you do kind of look over there and see a small peak, and you see smoke coming from it.
Being the only person that would
Damn
have
it.
any idea about orcs whatsoever, what are the odds that I would know whether or not they can see in the dark?
Natural rock chimney leads down the cavern. Roll nature.
Oh boy! All right.
Sorry. Actually, that one's history. Sorry, we're at history.
Oh well, all right. Let's see if I can do any better with that.
Build you out of a nat one.
Better.
Even though it's the same modifier. Yeah. Orcs are common enough that you're fairly comfortable knowing that you don't know you're not going to be exactly on like how good it is or anything, but they definitely are capable of seeing in the dark, which is kind of a bullshit thing in my opinion, but that's besides the point.
Okay. I'm gonna relay this to the group and kind of try to get a consensus. Do you guys think we should try to approach and in the night, or do we want to risk coming in during the day?
So a natural rock chimney leads down into the cavern. And a thin stream of smoke rises through it. The smoke spreads out and isn't easy to pinpoint in the rugged terrain. Yeah. That's what I said. Characters set forth on their journey. As you travel north from the mining town of Blasingdale, you pass through brooding pines and deep vales. From where you stand now, you catch sight of a tall, steep hill that rises into a prominent bare knob of rock, the Stone Tooth. A thin spire of smoke rises from the unseen point high in the hill slope, and you can make out a steep, narrow road or track that runs back and forth across the face of the mountain. I got caught up in my own details. I forgot to talk about the shit that they actually tell me to tell you.
What time of day is it?
It's still light out, but it's starting to lose light.
We should probably set up camp. I mean, if they can see in the dark, we can see in the dark, but there's no reason we shouldn't wait till morning.
Okay.
And be rested.
True. We've been walking all day. We don't want to battle after walking all day.
Okay, so you guys are going to set up camp?
Yeah.
You can kind of go through the same motions as finding a comfortable spot. Kind of set off a little bit off the road.
Not burn a fire this time.
The what?
No
Let's
fire.
Not burn a fire this time.
Okay. You still have a little bit of rabbit left from yesterday. Plus, I mean, her going through the day and stuff would have foraged, different odds and ends, berries and edible like tubers and carrots and potatoes, whatever shit like that. Eat potato.
Hmm.
Cannibalize him.
I was looking for a. I was looking to be hunting, but whatever. I mean, I did roll it.
You're not gonna find anything on the trail though.
Mm.
Okay. Same order
Mm.
for watch.
Okay. And Daria, roll a D100.
Wrong screen. Oh, I'm a dork.
Okay. It's the same. It's very quiet. As the night kind of comes, you'll hear it change to owls and stuff instead of the regular birds. But the night gets really quiet. But quiet and uneventful. That's most of the time, I guess. That's how you want it. So you'll finish your watch and then go wake up Fish. And then Fish will wake up and roll his D100.
Maybe because we don't entirely trust him? I don't know.
What?
He said, why are we always letting the dwarf out of this?
I can't hear him.
Who, Fish?
Yeah,
Was-
sorry. I did. I said, why are we always letting the dwarf out of this?
Oh. I think your audio comes in and out.
What? You say something?
See, that's
Go back
why.
to sleep.
There you go.
You're going to kick him and wake him up next time?
Huh?
No, we set a plan. We stick to it.
Just kick him anyway. Oh, wait, no.
I'm assuming the results of my
Yeah, no, it's quiet.
it's uneventful. Okay.
Yep. It gets boring saying the same kind of dialogue if it's a quiet night and nothing happens.
I wasn't sure if like the closer we get to 100, the worse it is.
No, it's the other way.
Oh, fantastic! All right, so I'm gonna go wait.
If you want to avoid random encounters, stay 11 or higher.
Oh, beautiful.
Watch me roll a 5 if I ever
So,
do it.
You up?
You'll stay up on watch until Chowder starts kind of coming out of his trance.
Yep.
I can't hear you.
Tell Fish to go back to sleep.
Okay. And then roll your D100s. Ooh. It'll be a quiet evening. Morning will come. Sun will come up.
Altus will wake up and be like,
As the
I heard you talking about me last night.
no, you didn't. As the kind of as the early in the morning, you'll notice it more in the morning, especially without the campfire. As the sun kind of comes up, there's a light fog that kind of settled in late into the evening, early morning. I mean, not incredibly thick. It is a little obscuring, but not that bad. But just being closer to the mountain, a little bit more elevation.
Smoky Mountains. It's my tabaxi's name.
It's fog, but foggy mountain.
Foggy Mountain Breakdown.
So, I mean, you'll stay up until everyone else starts to kind of start stirring.
Good morning, everybody. Praise the sun.
I personally don't recommend waiting for Fish to start stirring.
Okay, so you guys all get up and leave him there.
Yep. Means we don't have to share experience with him.
You're not on experience yet.
Shit.
You get to 5, then I'm gonna give you guys 5 after this adventure. Then I'm gonna
I don't kick him.
start tracking XP.
Wake up. We're not
Once
sharing
once we start
experience
tracking XP, though, you're on your own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's every man
right,
for
so-
himself, except for me and Dari, because we're a team.
As we prepare to take off for the day, I'm going to show Daria, at least attempt to show Daria what a newt looks like, and just tell her to keep an eye out.
Okay.
Ooh, what's the newt for?
Every one of those allows me to cast my hex spell twice.
Hmm. Do you use their eyes?
It is. A,
I sure do.
It is a salamander. I mean, I didn't look that up. It is a salamander, though. I wasn't wrong.
Newt. She turned me into a newt. I got better. A newt is a salamander.
Mhm. I just looked it up.
Oh.
That's why I was joking. I didn't totally look it up.
Oh,
Wink,
I was
wink.
kidding.
So Daria, since you're the what's the plan?
Uh,
I don't remember if you said whether or not you thought that you could find some of the other entrances, or
yeah, I was gonna go ahead and scout out and see if I could find another entrance.
I want to do that.
said that
Do you have a scouting ability?
No,
Oh,
we are
but I do have 6 in survival.
we should be getting close to the like within the next half a day, right? We should be getting close to the end of the path where he said that
yeah.
the entrance.
Oh no,
or-
I mean, I guess technically I was exaggerating it a little bit, but I mean this map is starting to measure in yards, so you're probably an hour or 2 out from the entrance.
so we're getting.
So when we get
We should probably
about a
we should probably just start now, trying to be quiet,
stealthy,
not
Mhm.
not overly stealthy, just no unnecessary communication, I guess.
Wait, that's not stealth.
Nope.
That's stealth.
Fish just poofs out of existence.
Okay. 17, 13, 15, and 23.
21.
13. Look at your armor, buddy.
Nope.
Does chain
uh,
shirt not give you disadvantage? I thought it did.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
How does that
chain
one not
shirt-
give you disadvantage?
Chain shirt does not give you disadvantage. Neither does hide or breastplate. Scale mail does.
Ale and half plate give you disadvantage.
Scale
Okay.
mail and half plate.
All right. I thought the chainmail. I did chain shirt. Did.
No, that's why I picked it.
Yep. Okay. You really have a shitty stealth for your build, though.
Mm-hmm.
So which direction were you guys going? No. 23, 15, 21, 17.
Now, where's the entrance?
This way. The one you know about is this way.
Okay. So, we can go that way. Well, you can't see what I'm doing. This way? Can you see that?
Are you
Am I
drawing
doing-
on it?
I'm not doing this correctly.
I think you can go to the... Yeah, okay. I think you can use the draw tools as well, for what it's
Okay.
worth. But,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Well, that's not really going where I want it to, but I want to go this way, But
Well, click the paintbrush, and I think you can go to freehand and draw on it. We did that all over like the temple ones. I think you
okay.
can draw all over the map.
So I want to go this way, right?
Are you
Because
drawing
that's
it?
where the
Okay,
yeah.
there we go.
that's where the entrance is, right around here, right?
Yeah, that area.
Okay. So maybe we can go that way, and then somewhere in here, about a half an hour before we get to the entrance, they can set up a like camp or something, and I can go ahead and scout ahead.
Okay.
I would say don't try to get too far away, or try to maybe if we find something easily identifiable,
Yeah. Well.
so that
Yeah.
in case like maybe you get turned around or something, or you're on the run and you're like, oh, there's that giant fucking tree
Yeah.
type of thing. 'Cause I don't know how safe it is for you to go kind of by yourself.
Well, yeah. That's what I would do normally as a tracker. I would
Yeah, I mean,
for landmarks and.
she's a ranger. I mean, it is a little dangerous, but that's what rangers do.
I mean, I can stick with her. I've got a pretty good movement speed, and I'm fairly stealth.
You would still slow her down.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Does she move without being? Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. I guess I'll stay behind.
Because and it's specifically like when them by themselves, they can stealth at full speed. So
Right, that makes sense.
you guys will travel for a bit, really with an emphasis on being quiet. Being quiet, not quaaludes.
What's a quillet? Is it another animal?
It's where you quietly go to the bathroom.
Oh, okay.
Aren't those things in Star Wars that have the big tentacles on their heads?
I don't know. Mostly kind of looking for something distinguishable. I half want to be an idiot, but I'm not. You'll find something. It's basically kind of a weird shaped rock with a tree growing on the top. You can't really see it far away, like super, super far away, but it's noticeable enough from a bit of a distance, and it's easy to know that that's that, not something else. So the three of you guys will kind of go sit up and sit next to, a bit behind that. Daria will head off and scout. So you can roll stealth again, a new stealth.
Okay. Hopefully it's good.
Ooh.
Oh,
Do you not have?
I should have proficiency in stealth, but it's
Nope.
not checked.
2, 3, 4, 5.
I don't have proficiency in stealth. But
Maybe you
that's
never
because-
went. I don't know. No, maybe you never won it because it was underwater. I don't know.
I had it checked while I was underwater, but I rearranged things.
Oh yeah, I should have done that. I didn't think about that because I didn't have it because we were underwater. But I didn't think about that.
Yeah, I guess it makes a little bit of sense that you're not as good at stealthing on land.
Yeah.
I took the proficiency in stealth and put it on wisdom because it made more sense. I mean, put it on survival.
Okay. She'll slink off in the woods, as quiet as you can. You'll basically, you're not gonna stay you're not gonna stay on the trail. You're gonna stay a little bit off the trail, enough that you can kind of use it as a guide, but far enough away that you're not an obvious target.
Right.
You'll follow that for a while as you start getting closer and closer to the mountain. The old dwarven path leads up to a bare shoulder of a rock and then turns into a deep cleft in the hillside. So there's not like this grand door or anything. It just kind of turns into a bit of a shift that goes into the mountainside. Was Altus trying to stealth after her or no? Yes or no?
Who? What?
You rolled stealth.
What?
Why did you roll stealth?
Oh, because I wanted to.
Well, don't. I mean, if you're going to do something, you can ask and do it. I'm not that big about it, but don't just roll stuff just for the sake of rolling. But this is what you're looking for. It seems relatively quiet.
You
and
said
can kind
rolled stealth, so I did. I didn't know you weren't talking to me.
You're muted, Daria. But you'll go in as close as you're kind of comfortable going. Which honestly is probably a little bit more than in the woods. There's a little bit more comfort in kind of going in the mouth of a cave. But it'll open up into basically a large kind of cave. And as you kind of slink up, like I said, there's no like big like kind of ornate dwarven door or anything. It just kind of opens into a kind of a cave entrance.
Right.
You kind of sneak up and kind of listen into the cave, and you can hear kind of gruff talking up ahead. I don't think you speak orc though, so you're not gonna be able to make out anything that they say, but you can definitely hear kind of light banter up ahead.
How far ahead of us is she?
Probably, I mean, enough that you're nowhere near where she is.
Can we still follow her, or is she like?
Well, that was the point of letting her scout ahead.
Okay.
You're muted, Daria.
I'm gonna come back and tell you where the
Okay.
entrance is. That's why I waited so I didn't have to go 2 hours, So just
Yeah.
a half an hour walk back.
So you'll kind of get that confirmation and then head back.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not that bad. Not even a half an hour. Probably closer to like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
How heavily guarded?
Did I see any? I just heard them. I didn't see them, right?
Roll a quick survival.
Okay. Hopefully I still do good at this. Not terrible. Great.
Rough, kind of looking at the tracks and stuff that go in. You're not 100% sure, but you can guess about 12. Part of the reason why it's kind of weird is they have different. Some of them are a little bit older. Like they didn't. It's not like a pack of 12. It's like a group of 2, and then a group of 4, and a group of 4, or something like that. That doesn't even 12. But you know what I mean.
Right.
It's not one large group of 12. It's a couple different groups, and they kind of stomp over their own tracks a little bit. But you can guess at least in the last day or two, at least 12 orcs have gone in.
Okay. Okay, and I'll relay that message too. So I didn't see any orcs, but I saw tracks, and I counted about 12 different sets of tracks. But I know they're in there. I heard talking, but I couldn't understand it.
Okay.
Good
And that was the main entrance.
Yeah.
enough for me.
12.
Let's go.
That seems like a lot. I've never fought them, so I don't want to fight 12 of them if they're
We need to come up with a plan of attack.
just right out the gate. Hmm.
Do you remember seeing how sturdy the cave entrance was?
Oh, it's sturdy. It's nice and solid. Maybe we could create some sort of commotion. And who else has a bow? Do we know how big these guys are?
You know how big?
The half orc was.
Yeah, the half orc, Grendar was.
Okay.
He was about 6.5 feet tall.
Okay.
I'm gonna point out that remember that guy? Well, they're a little bit bigger and they're about as broad as him. And I'm gonna point at Altus.
Mm.
Okay. So Fish knows about orcs then, okay? Right? Okay, so if we
I know enough.
what's the best way to defeat them as far as if we stood above them and shot arrows down into their noggin, would that kill them, or are there I don't know
Just
if
like any other race.
is their skin too thick? Do we need to use? Can we use bows? Or do we need to use swords? I don't know anything about these creatures, so I don't. They could have skin like dragons.
I wouldn't think of them as being too much different from any of us.
Okay.
If it would work on us, chances are it's probably going to work on them. They're I can't call them civilized, but they're
Actually, civilized isn't that far off because the kingdom of many arrows is still a thing.
Hey, Rotu, let me be racist.
Just letting you know.
Mm.
I mean, they're still a bit barbaric, but uncivilized is technically not true.
Right. So they're I don't know, I can't call them human, but they're like us. They're going to be they're a people, they're a society.
Okay.
And no, they don't have dragon scales.
Is there any way? Could you climb up? Is there like a vantage point that you could get to? Any of the ranged people could get to?
You didn't see anything. It goes kind of right into the cave.
Yeah.
They're about as dim as the glow stick in a foggy cave.
See a little kitty climb behind you under the blankets.
Oh, it's my dog.
Oh, is it a dog? It looked
Yeah.
like a kind of a fluffy kitty.
Yeah, it's because he's very tiny. He's about the size of a cat. Some of the neighborhood cats are bigger than he is. Yeah, he's got a little cave back there.
Mm. Is it a portable cave?
Mm-hmm.
Ha!
Well, why don't we do this? You guys can discuss it. We can wrap up here. You guys can figure out your approach next week. For
All right.
Next week. It's 10:24 anyways, and I'm not going to start a fight. So whether it's here, whether you kind of approach the cavern and a beer to go in, is kind of irrelevant. So we can just wrap it here.
Yeah, I'm a dwarf. I'm gonna just go in and knock some skulls.
And we're gonna not, and then you're gonna die, and we're gonna laugh.
So we can try and do the.
Well, you're a monk, so you have to go in.
No, I don't.
I mean, you don't have to. You could,
You know,
but you don't have any ranged weapons.
Well, I was thinking there's some way we could get them out, and maybe Fish and I could shoot them with arrows and,
yeah, if we bring them out of the
ambush them.
if we bring them out of the cave and you and I stand on opposite sides, angle in and shoot in towards the entrance of the cave.
That's why I was hoping for a vantage point so you guys could shoot down.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Yeah. They stand for a vantage point and shoot down while I go in, yell at the big dumb orcs and run.
Well, there's trees around the cave entrance, right?
It starts to thin out, but yeah, there are still some trees.
You can climb up some trees.
We could climb. Yeah.
I mean, I like the idea of them just waiting while I go in, yell at them, and then run out with them chasing me.
Well, I said we're going to need a distraction. I mean, if you want to run into a cave full of orcs, then be my guest.
Yeah, I like.
Sure, the guy with the 25-foot movement is going to be the one to run away from people with 30-foot movements.
Hey,
That's
my
easy.
speed is 30 foot.
No,
I
it's
mean,
not,
if
it's
he has a
25.
death wish.
Oh, it's 25 now.
You're a dwarf.
Yeah. You just aren't hindered by full plate or heavy armor.
Yeah. I mean, I've got thaumaturgy. I don't have to go into the cave to yell.
Thaumaturgy.
Thaumaturgy.
Well, you guys
Literally.
can figure it out.
Literacy he does not have, though.
You can figure it out for next week. I want to do the outro bits. So we can start with a geeky tea party and see if my commands still work. See if this still works. Did that
What do
work?
we think? I don't know.
The kind of outro stuff that didn't work. Why is it not working?
Did you turn it on?
Let me double
Oh.
check.
Have you tried turning it off and on again?
Oh, well, I am Kim, or a Geeky Tea Party, and you can find me here on Mondays and Fridays. I'm over at the RPG Lab playing a Yanti Rogue Bard. And on Saturday, this is the last week. I'm so bummed because it's so much fun. But I've been doing a Discworld RPG over at Capricorn Cross's channel, which has been really fun. You should go check it out. And that's it. You can find all my information over at ageekyteaparty.com.
My commands aren't working, so if you want to type stuff into the actual chat, I don't know. I got errors that Twitch's API is down, so I don't know what the issue is, but it might not let me do it while I'm actually streaming.
And eventually, I will start streaming again on my channel.
You keep teasing
One of
us.
these- I know. One of these days. It's just every time I anyway.
No, I know. It's a lot going
something
on
happens. Yeah.
physically.
Well, yeah, and my daughter's out of town this month, so we've been trying to deep clean the house and shampoo all the carpets and declutter and all that fun stuff. All that adulting.
Calv.
I am Calvy Calv of Calvy Calv's Gaming. I am Calvy Calv here on Twitch. I have my YouTube channel, which is Calvy Calv's Gaming, where I post my gameplay videos. I think it's working through Resident Evil 4 right now. I've started recording Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. I am also streaming. I didn't stream this past weekend because it was drill weekend, but I did stream last 2 Saturdays ago. I streamed Odyssey, which I got. And I think on Thursday I streamed a couple hours of Odyssey. And my intent is to stream it at least once a week. I am Calvy Calv's Gaming on Facebook. If you want to go and join that, join my YouTube, join my Twitch, or follow me on Twitch. Or join my Facebook page. I am Calvy Calv's Gaming on Twitter. I also have a Patreon. Nobody has done anything for that, but it is what it is. So I play games. I record them. That's what I do.
Tater Hollow.
Well, I don't stream currently, but I do plan on eventually streaming again when I can get my shit together on my channel.
Okay. Curtis, as far as I know, you didn't have anything, but if you had anything, you're more than welcome.
Nope. This is the only thing I do that gets broadcast anywhere.
Although, I guess we haven't talked about it, whether we were streaming or recording your Friday game that we're going to be starting up. But that may or may not be happening. We'll figure that out. I'm Arc Devil Road 2. Here, there, everywhere. My Discord is Shar. I wanted to point out something. What the hell was it? Oh, I signed up, but they were looking for people, so I volunteered. I'm going to be running a one-shot on Salt and Sassy's channel on the 21st, part of their I'm blanking on the thing.
Charity thing.
Yeah, their children's charity. I can't remember the title. I'm terrible about it, but I'm going to be doing the last slot. I think it's 12 to 3 their time. It's going to be 7 Eastern, and I'm looking forward to that. That's on the 21st. It's a Sunday, and that's my whole spiel, which means I think we're done. So I don't know. I'm rating Scraticus because he's a fun guy. Not a fun guy. He's not a mushroom. He's a fun guy. Maybe he is a fungus. I don't know. Probably not, though. I need to watch Scraticus more. I'm hoping to find time.
Oh
Watch some-
hell yeah! You should definitely watch their fucking what's it called? Their game that's in the mornings on Monday. Oh, hell yeah! Their Call of Cthulhu game. Oh yes, it's so good. So